All right, we are live here at FNGO's The Live Well. It is Thursday, right?
It is
Thursday. This Thursday night. Glad you guys could join us tonight. We got an absolutely fantastic show. You see what I got in my hand right here? We're going to be talking big swim baits for big bass. So, one little program note. We had, I got to my left. Let's go ahead and just put the camera on Mr. Beautiful. Jon Sarra in the house, local big swim bait guy. And you guys are going to learn a lot about big swim baits for bass. Now, we had Mike Bucca. He hit me up. He was going to come tonight, but he just hit me up a little while ago. He is having a little dizzy spell tonight, not feeling well. So, unfortunately, Bucca is going to have to cancel. But, guys, don't turn away just because Bucca's not here, because this guy has taught me a lot about big swim baits for bass. I'm going to be learning while you guys are learning. And, Bucca, if you're watching, hey, we hope you feel better.
100%.
And I'm glad he didn't come because I owe him money. I was going to have to write his ass a check. So.
Dang.
But anyway, seriously, hang out tonight and also, take some notes because this is something that I'm going to be learning tonight as you guys are learning as well. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and take care of our fine sponsors. Now, we don't have a logo just yet, but I'm going to tell everybody the Live Well is brought to you by Digital Sportsman. And right about iCast, you're going to see a lot of changes in our intro and everything. It's a new booking platform that's coming out. I'm one of their ambassadors. It's absolutely awesome. It's going to help you book some really cool things from fishing trips, jet skis, pontoons, those kind of things, golf cart rentals and everything. And if you were a guide in the North Georgia area or anywhere really in the United States, you can use their platform for free. They've got some upgrades that cost a little bit, but it's going to help you drive more traffic to your site. A lot of things coming with them. I'm really proud to be associated with them. It's going to be really good. So Digital Sportsman, I love the guys, love the people. You're going to hear a lot more about them later. Now, for our regular sponsors, of course, we start off with Sonar Pros. Trenton gang over there at 369 770-530-4505. The best in the business is where the pros take their boats. You can take your boat elsewhere, but you're going to eventually take it to Trent to get it fixed. The best, and they also do boat detailing off Highway 369. So we appreciate Sonar Pros for their partnership with us. And then tomorrow morning, if you are a member of Kevin Underwood, Lipsticker Fishing's Patreon, you're going to get to see yours truly fishing with Kevin on his weekly live tomorrow from Lake Lanier. I'm looking forward to that, other than I got to be up at Van's Tavern at 6:30 in the morning. That's going to be a little tough. But 678-459-8419, Kevin at lipstickerfishing.com. Megalodon Lake Lanier spotted bass. Doesn't get any better. He is the best, in my opinion, at catching those big ones with his clients. So I might not go to sleep tonight.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's a dang.
I might not sleep.
Yeah.
Which is going to really suck for my tomorrow's daily podcast, but we'll do our best. Yeah. And then we got the guys over at Evolve Fishing, the best rod sleeve on the market. That's Evolve Fishing. Check them out at their website, or you can get them here at Fish North Georgia. The best rod sleeve on the market, American made, all the features that you want. Hey, and the cool thing is they float too. If you got one on your rod and you're like me and you kick your rod off every once in a while, you'll get it back because the rod sleeves float. So we appreciate those guys. Now, all the money we spend on expensive baits, and we're going to talk about some expensive ones tonight. You want to get it back? The Money Saver Lure Retriever, the best plug knocker on the market. I feel bad calling it a plug knocker. It's that good. Shoots through the water like a little tiny torpedo. Richard Key and the guys up there, they do it. It's fantastic. We got them here at Fish North Georgia. Go to fngo.com, check them out. Then we got the legend, Mr. Bill Payne, the nicest man, one of the nicest men I've ever met. 706-280-2305, Lake Allatoona, seasonal smallmouth trips, electronic trips, and also, too, he did a nighttime bass fishing video, how to fish for bass at night with us last year. It's on our page. Check it out after the show. If you really want to learn something about nighttime bass fishing, either book a trip with him and ask him or watch our video. But appreciate Mr. Bill Payne. And then we got the young gun, Brooks Anderson Fishing. Check out his YouTube. You'll learn a lot, Brooks Anderson Fishing. And if you want to book a trip, brooksandersonfishing.com. Spotted bass on Lake Lanier, why they're there, how to target them, anything you want to know about spotted bass. Brooks is really good with that. And if you got a young angler in your little group or family right there, he specializes in helping them get on their journey to catching spotted bass. And then we got Tony Watkins and the guys up at Fishers of Hope. I should say guys. His wife probably does more for it than he does. Their mission to glorify God, to be servants of his word, to bring those in need to peace and hope that only he can bring. Follow them on Facebook. Or if you really want to reach out and talk to them, fishes of hope ministry@gmail.com. They throw bass tournaments for people in need. These are the kind of people that the Fish North Georgia community needs to be associated with. So we appreciate them. And then behind me.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, no. Pull up Rob. We got to change that around.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.
We got to change that around. Rob Robleski, NPFL Pro. He's now guiding in Tennessee. Big League Charters. You can hit him at www.robrobleski.com. And guys, don't ask me to spell it. You got to sit there and look at it. I always mess up them names with the W's in them. 239-877-6479. He does Tellico, Fort Loudon, Watts Bar, Chickamauga. I have fished with Rob. I mean, we're friends and all that, but I've actually fished with him. It's a good time. You want to learn something? Definitely, I think we need to book a trip with him on the Tennessee lakes because I don't know enough about the Tennessee lakes, but really good dude. You're going to have a lot of fun if you book a trip with him. And then behind me, of course, we got Turner Tire. If you're in the Jasper, Georgia area, you need tires or alignment. Great family-run business. I need to sit up straight, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm slouching already. 706-253-3339. Great family-run business. And, the guys there fish like we are. And anytime you can support a local business, you want to do that. And if you have a business and you want to get your eyeballs in front of some of the most loyal viewers out there who actually listen to us, I don't know why, but they do. You can advertise right here, Danny@fngo.com. Send me an email. We will see if we can work something up for you to get customers. That's the best way to put it. To get customers. That's what it's all about. So let's pull up the comment section there. See who all's here. Good Lord, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's some that started early.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I always get tickled when I see you guys there early. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know why you wouldn't, every day around 12 o'clock, we do the lunch break now. So it is basically a much more laid back version of the live well. We call it Live Well Light, but I think lunch break is better. Just something for you guys in the middle of the day, just to kind of break the monotony of the work week. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I try to wake up in the morning, and the first things that pop into my mind, that's going to be the topic every day. So this morning it was Facebook friends that might have died. And you want to make sure you get them old people on Facebook. The birthdays pop up. I always have a problem. I'm always worried if I see somebody that's 70 plus years old. Do I say happy birthday? No, I check and make sure they're still hanging around. It's a safe bet. It's a safe play.
I've known people to do it.
We do that. We talked about a woman's Iron Dome defense system from all of our men's advances. And then we talked about the GOAT. How do you determine the GOAT? So it's a lot of fun just in the middle of the day. Guys seem to like it. We're going to be doing it. Now, in the morning, I will be fishing with Underwood on Lanier. I got to meet him at Vance Tavern at 6:30. So I figure we'll go a couple hours, maybe 2-3 hours, and then I will fly here to the shop, and we will see. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it about 12, but I will do one tomorrow. It might be a little late. I don't know, but look forward to that. We want you guys just to kind of join us with that. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you guys come into the shop, and if I'm being honest, we got chairs here at the shop. We try to differentiate ourselves from all the other tackle shops in that we welcome you to come in here and just sit and talk. Now, we're not opposed to you guys buying stuff, but it's not required. We're trying to build up a family, a community here, and some of the locals take advantage of it. I've had guys that have sat in the shop here for like 7 hours at a time.
I mean, I come up here early, so.
You come up here early. I know, but you're trying to beat traffic.
Yeah, I'm beating traffic.
But anyway, and if you're in the area, listen, you're always welcome here at the shop. If you're in the area on one of these nights we do a podcast, hey, listen, I don't lock the doors till about 7:50?
Yeah.
Right about before the show. You're more than welcome to come sit here, hang out in the background, have an adult beverage while we sit here and pregame, talk about what we're going to talk, try to get the plan together for the show. It's a good time. All of you guys are always welcome here. So anyway, but we'll see. But yeah, start joining us. We're going to try to do that every day, 12 to 12:30, 1 o'clock, depending on the conversation. And it's a good time.
Yeah, it was good. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
You get a little more of me in my El Natural state. I like to say on the lunch break, I'm going to talk to you like if we were sitting at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, my buddy to my left, Jon Sarra, let's pull him back up, show his ugly mug right there. So he's there. No, good dude. So he came up here. It was last year. We were talking. Mike Bucca was actually on, and you come up here and you hung out with us a little bit. This guy loves big swim baits. And the reason we're going to talk about big swim baits is generally on this show, we're dealing Lake Lanier, we're dealing all these other big lakes and all that. This time of year, we're talking finesse fishing. We're talking top water. And you can only talk about that so many times in a given week. About this, about midsummer is like, hell, we've covered it. And we're probably going to cover it for the rest of the summer, but we need a little bit of a break. This guy loves big swim baits. Now, this is a Huddleston he gave me. I mentioned it on the lunch break and all that. And we got to talking, and he likes to go after a couple of bites a trip.
Yeah, man.
This is a little bit different. Now, if you are a tournament fisherman, you don't want to do this stuff until you got your limit, I guess. You get your 5 in the boat, and then if you go looking for a kicker.
You got 5 and you need something heavy, that I throw a swim bait.
Throw a swim bait. And so right here in front of me, he's basically got a tackle warehouse full of big swim baits. And the one thing about swim, you can see him right there in the picture right there.
He brought the stuff. It's a pretty impressive setup.
The only person that's ever brought stuff like that to the shop, Tim Hancock did one time, and Jeremiah Giles always brings a bunch of them when he's been on. So we're going to talk about these. Now, this is a specialized technique that I am learning with you guys tonight. You guys know me. Like, if it ain't a wacky worm, I'm learning with you guys. And so you got to have a certain setup. You got to have the rods. You got to throw it on a certain line. You got to work them a certain way. Everyone's a little bit different. But to start the conversation off, John, I'm going to give you an easy softball question. Oh, and before that, you guys, as always, keep me up to date on the Braves score. I need to know how the Braves are doing because I can't stand the Mets. All right. So a lot of you guys, I love me some big swim baits and all that. That's what we're going to be talking about. It is Jeremiah's type of show. Everyone, Steve Magmoto, all you guys, hey, I love you. There's so many of them right there. Steven's up here. Now, cranking and yanking, that's our Louisiana boy that's in the house. We got Steven from Central Illinois. Eric Foster, pull that comment up real quick. Right there on the bottom.
Got you.
Hey, Georgia boys.
Yeah.
Checking in again from the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. This show is almost as good as the Andy Griffith show. I love it. Let's go.
That's saying a lot right there.
I do like me some Andy Griffith.
Sir.
I do like me some. Now, what character would I be on the Andy Griffith show? Am I the Don Knotts? I got the bullet. Well, who am I? Am I Andy Griffith? Am I the sheriff?
Well, yeah, we'll give you the sheriff role. Yeah, I think so.
I like that. Who are you? Who's the drunk? What was the drunk's name that always got put in the
Otis?
Otis. Who's Otis? Of all our group, Tony, all the podcast guys, who's Otis?
I don't know. I'm not doing that to nobody. I could be Otis. I don't know.
Let's say Tim.
We'll say Tim.
Tim's Otis. He's a cop too. So Kay Watkins, hey Danny, I'm here. Hey, listen, there you go, Tony, and all that. Closed Mom 90. There's a bunch of you guys already. So we're going to just have to scroll on down and get to talking. So let me throw Garrett Hunter. I gotta call him out.
Tim.
You know him?
Tim Wyatt.
Oh, where's Tim? Danny, don't keep all the log secrets he spills to yourself. I have to fish against him next month.
Sorry, Tim.
Listen, I like Tim. Tim kicked my ass. It don't matter who.
Hammer, dude.
He is a hammer.
You got to have all the bullets against him.
He's a hammer.
Him and Justin are wild, dude.
They are very, very good. So, I have to be honest. Like, when I go to a tournament, electric only tournament, I'm donating to them guys.
Dude.
I like them. They're great guys. They're hell of an anglers, but if I place high, I hate to say there's a couple of teams that when I go to a tournament, if I just place higher than them, I'm like, hell yeah. And Tim and Justin are one of them. It don't happen often. No. Thomas Epps and Ryan Quinton. If I beat them, I'm like, and they could finish 9th and I finished 8th, and I'm like, hell yeah, I won that tournament. Tim and they're good. They can fish, dude. They can fish. There's no doubt. But Garrett Hunter, first time watching the show live. Glad to be able to catch y'all. We are. And Ken called me a goober already. We ain't 15 minutes in the show, and he's done called me a goober. That's who he says I think I would be. Is there a character named Goober on Andy?
Yeah, Goober. Yeah.
Which one's Goober?
He's the one that would he took the car apart and put it back together in the jailhouse one time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
Judy. Yeah, that guy.
That's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit these comments, and we're gonna get that question. Ron Swinford, pull him up. I struggle to use the bigger swim baits because 1, I don't want to buy the equipment for such a niche technique. 2, I want to catch fish when I go. Throwing all day for one bite is not good. I understand that. I get it. Swim bait guys are like kayak guys. They're just off-centered just enough. We like them. We love them. We appreciate them. They are a different breed of person. Last Golden Boy 305, a question for John. What kind of streamline do you use on your gimlet stick? Mortars are hung, hashtag.
That's my buddy from the Army.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that when it's hashtag mortars are hung. Well, there you go.
Like a horse, Golden.
Like a horse?
Like a horse.
You lie like a dog. Well, you know what, though? It's always those skinny, ugly ones like you that
Hey, brother, man.
you got
I wasn't
blessed.
always.
Archie Lee, carry over from lunch today. What about brothers Billy and Bobby Murray? I guess so. We were talking about greatest anglers of all time today. Anyway, I think we caught up. Here we go with the kayak guys again.
Oh,
John, I love you kayak guys, but y'all are different. Mason Tucker said John's a great guy. He will definitely throw all day for one bite. He has kicked my butt on the back of my boat multiple times with big glides.
Thanks, Mason.
Yeah. So anyway, here's your softball question. How did you get started throwing big glide baits and big swim baits, all this stuff that I see?
I got out in the Army in 2020. I hopped.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It was a good time, man. I spent 8 years in the Army. I got out. I hopped on my buddy Lee Gibson's boat, Battery Bassin. You know Lee.
Yep.
Good guy. Hammer with a fluke. We started talking about new techniques and fishing different styles of ways and stuff. And I found Ben Milliken on YouTube, so I became an MFer. As everybody
You're an
likes.
MFer? Okay, I
man.
got you.
Dude's a stud, man. He goes out and catches 40 and 50-pound bags on his own swim baits. Like, sold.
Yeah.
Deal. Why not? I'll try it.
Yeah.
And some of them, they're not stupid expensive. They're not like break the bank, cross your eyes, ridiculous. But
some of them are.
Some of them.
Some of them are.
A truck payment or 3.
Yeah, 100%. I always like when the swim bait guys come on, I sit back and I think about how much money is sitting in front of me in swim baits and all that.
Yes.
Give me 30 minutes and I'll tally it.
No, we're gonna talk about it. So real quick before we get into it, Brad Silver's got a question. And you guys, hey, throw the questions out tonight because I'm learning with you guys. Tim Wyatt, I'm going to get the Hickory Log information off air. But not really. We're going to talk about Hickory Log too. What's the deepest you will throw a big swim bait / glide?
As deep as I see a big tail wagon.
Yeah.
On my live scope.
We talked about it in the shop earlier. Like this guy will. He's not. He doesn't have to have
$100 bait in 80 feet of water.
He's not scared to use it. He does use some forward-facing sonar with this. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But cranking and yanking, he doesn't rely on it.
No, sir.
So there you go. So he kind of uses the technology as it goes. But on average, would you say what target range, as far as depth, are you staying in the most?
I try to stick to as realistic as possible. Largemouth are predominant in a lot of the lakes I fish.
Yep.
Largemouth don't go deep. They don't. I ain't never caught one over 30 feet, but that's me personally.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
All right. Yeah.
I have a lot of luck staying above 20 feet.
20 feet.
Especially with a glide bait specifically.
20 feet and up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you can go as shallow as 6 inches. As long as it floats, you can go as shallow.
If I ain't dragging the bottom, I'm Gucci.
You're good. Okay, there you go. Western Maine Outdoors says he'll throw one 50 foot.
Absolutely, brother, man.
Ron Swinford, mag draft or a 6-inch glide, about the biggest I want to throw, but I killed them on the 170 flag one day at Weiss. Actually tore the bait up that day. It can happen. Cam says, are you throwing swim baits year round?
Absolutely, Cam. I will throw one 99% of the time.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I asked him to come on, because he was in the shop the other day. Hell, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the other day. He was up here yesterday, and we got to talking, as we often do when everybody comes to the shop. And Tim, if you're still listening, I'm like, I know he fishes Hickory Log a lot. And I'm like, I got a tournament on Hickory Log. And we got to talking about, we got to talking about what you would do on Hickory Log. And to be fair, we'll talk about that later on. But I asked you a question. I said, what's the best time of the year to catch a mag, big fish on a glide bait? And you actually said July.
July to fall.
To fall. In the heat.
In the heat, man. Every big fish I've caught has been in some form of extremity.
Yeah.
Extremity of heat.
It's either the hottest it could be or
Abusing the dog shit out of you. That's what it is.
is that what it is?
Dude,
So-
I'm telling you, 95 degrees, and all of a sudden you're getting pulled into the water because it's way bigger than you thought, bud.
he brought me, I was telling him, and guys, if I miss your question, type it again. I know Tony's going to do the best to keep me straight, but again, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions for me tonight. Last year, when he found out we were going to Orlando to film a little bit for the Real American Road Trip, he came up here and brought me some baits. One of which, do you have it here tonight?
The 11-inch?
Pull this up. I just want everybody to see this. He gave me this to go throw in Florida, guys. It's a Bucca, right?
Yes, sir. It's 11-inch.
Have you hold it up in front of that camera with you? Look at this thing. That is an 11-inch bait that he gave me. I took it down there and look at that thing. That is a monstrosity. Now, I'm going to ask you, what the hell were you planning on catching with that? Just big, huge largemouth?
The biggest fish that will hang on the wall.
The biggest fish that will hang on a wall is what he said right there. So he's got them. Now, War Eagle the best. Do you use the Depths Slide Swimmer 250?
I've only had one, and I lost it in about 70 feet of water. So we have this Magnum bait knocker now, so we don't lose baits.
All right, let's go ahead and pull that up. Now, granted, listen, go ahead and pull up your plug knocker. Now, so this is a different, guys, look. Now, the Money Saver Lure Retriever is going to work on 90% of your baits. These things right here, look at this thing. First of all, it's on a nylon cord. He let me hold that plug knocker right there. And how many ounces is that thing?
I want to say it's 10.
10-ounce
But
plug knocker.
It might be 8.
All I know is I held it up, and it made me feel kind of my confidence in my manhood went away real quick when I held that thing up.
You
I was
don't
like,
have to
good
throw
Lord.
a giant one like this, but when you get down to that deep water, this 4-ounce buddy, he won't knock it loose after about 15 feet. So
You got to have a big one.
I ain't a scuba man. I ain't a Navy SEAL, so the frog man stays in the boat.
Okay, I got that. So we got the plug knocker out of the way. But what was curious, he said, well, you lost it in what, 70 foot?
Yeah, man.
See, the times that we've had big swim bait guys on in the past, it always seems like we're talking about subsurface, shallow water. Now, Bucca did mention about throwing, like going on Lake Lanier and throwing his baits over brush piles and all, but he's the first in the history of this show to talk about throwing big baits like that down that deep.
That's a game changer.
It is a game changer. Let's see. Western Maine. Pull him up. When the water's soft, I'll throw a glide. It's pretty much a giant jerk bait. Yeah, we'll get into those techniques too. Aaron Parker. How about in dirty water? Is white the preferred color with threadfin and gizzard shad being the dominant forage? So let's say you go to a lake. Got dirty water. You got a handful of baits right there. How much does color play into it, or is it more about size and whatever, vibrate, whatever you can do in dirty water?
Size don't matter, personally.
Thank you.
I don't think.
Yeah, right?
I mean, okay, I'm a glide bait fisherman. Size matters. If it ain't big, I probably ain't gonna throw it.
Right.
What
would you throw in dirty water?
In dirty water on a threadfin gizzard lake?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm throwing that 9-inch trick shad.
Yeah, go ahead and get it.
I'm gonna throw a 9-inch trick shad. I'll throw it for about 2 or 3 hours. If I don't get any bites or follows, if I start getting follows, I'll drop the size, seeing how active they are. I'll change my cadence up a little bit, but 9 times out of 10, I'm throwing something predominantly matching my hatch, a little bit bigger.
I was saying matching your hatch. Hell, I'd hate to be that fish dropping the 9-inchers right there, but I mean, okay, how are you working it? This is a trick shad, so this is a Bucca bait.
So trick shads, the great thing about these baits, you can burn them,
Yep.
you can slalom glide them, you can fast twitch them underneath the top of the water. They really got a universal way of working them, man. And what I do is I will fish until I find what they want. So
You've added some lead to the hooks.
I got to add lead to make them sink. I'm not big on taking the baits apart and putting balls in them. You can on the trick shads. I don't know if
Yeah, when Bucca was on last, you can take those things and sometimes they'll drill out and add stuff, but you just like to do it by the hook.
Yeah, you can take this pin out here and add weights up into the front half of the bait.
Because it is hollow, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's got hollow shells in there, so you can add a weighted lead into it. But I always add weight to the hooks. Even when I am fishing at subsurface over trees and stuff, man, it just keeps it right there perfect. has the perfect cadence. I can stop it, walk it, move it, burn it. I mean, I've dead stuck fish with this bait, and I could not believe that they came up and ate it.
So you get on a dirty water lake like Aaron was asking about. When you decide, okay, I'm going to throw this 9-inch trick shad, what's the first retrieve that you'll start off with? Do you start off with burning it? Do you start off with going deep? Or how are you figuring out what to do?
So I will use my graphs usually to locate how deep my bait fish are.
Okay.
That's going to tell you how deep your fish are. 9 times out of 10, your big fish will not be standardly chasing bait.
Okay.
They're too big for it. They're too lazy.
They're lazy.
They want one big meal. They want one thing that's going to hold them over. Like think about all the anacondas in Florida. Eating alligators and people and popping in half. Why?
Right.
Them fat, lazy bastards don't want to do nothing.
I understand.
They want to eat.
Yeah.
Gina's like to eat. We got to feed them.
Gina's. Okay, so now we've got Becky's and now we've got Gina's.
Yep.
Okay. Make sure you scoot up that mic, though. I want to make sure everybody hears you because this is good stuff. So you'll take, okay, so you pull up, you scan.
Let's just start off at hickory log.
Okay, for you guys that don't know hickory log, it's an electric-only reservoir here in North Georgia, 400 or 500 acres. It's predominantly largemouth bass. It has the forage is brim, threadfin. So it does not have blueback heron. So we're not on a blueback heron lake.
It's got perch in it too.
It's got perch. Yeah, it's got some perch, some crappie, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But definitely not a blueback heron lake.
No, and it ain't got gizzards neither, which kind of sucks.
It needs gizzards. If you're running hickory log, you guys need to put some gizzards in that
Let's
thing.
do it, pretty please.
Pretty please. All right, so how are you starting off?
So when I get to hickory log, man,
Tim White, are you taking notes?
pay attention, Tim. I will follow my channel out. I'll locate my fish. Sometimes, man, I'm the type of guy where it's only going to take one cast. It's only going to take one cast for something right to commit, right?
Mhm.
So I try to give myself every bit of knowledge every day. So I immediately start scanning. I'm using my 360 to locate what's on the bottom, what's around me, what structure is big enough, close enough to current to keep something held there.
Mm-hmm.
And, as you fish a lake religiously, you start to find your spots, your stumps, all your stuff, everything where fish move and translate to. And you just got to get familiar with your electronics, be confident in what you're doing and your abilities. And 3, you just got to start throwing.
Right.
You can't be a coward with this, man. You got to get the bait in the water and start moving and scanning.
Well, that's how you start.
Yep.
Okay, real quick before we get into that, the setup right here. So you got a St. Croix Victory.
Yes, sir.
And it is a
7-Eleven
7-Eleven mod heavy fast. And are you throwing straight fluoro? Looks like you're throwing straight fluoro on that.
I will throw 20-pound P line until
P-line.
I stop making it, man.
You like P-line?
I love it to death.
Why?
I've only lost one lure on P-line.
Okay, so it's just a confidence thing.
It's all confidence.
20-pound though.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then just a 7, like a 7-1 something reel.
It's a 7-1-1 standard Abu Garcia reel. It's like a $75 reel from Walmart, man.
Yeah.
I don't see the purpose in spending hundreds of thousands of dollars already.
Right.
I already am.
Yeah.
Because
your damn baits cost too much. You can't afford expensive reels.
Sometimes, man.
Okay.
But I honestly picked these reels up because I needed them. They held the 20-pound line. They run the baits good. I'm going to run with them until I have to start spending money, unfortunately.
I got you. Listen, guys, I got my first swim bait set up from Spro.
Yeah, you did.
They sent me the KGB swim bait rod. So it is a 7.9 and it is a heavy 7.9 heavy. And I got the Jason Christie Elite, the 9-ball bearing one on there. And it is I think this is a 7.1 or 7.3. So you said, and I don't throw big swim baits. I'm getting ready to start learning. So you said this is a very good setup.
I am a big fan of that rod, man. I don't have one yet personally, but the amount of glory that they put into that rod.
The Spro rod, so
dude,
the KGB one.
That KGB, that Chad rod or whatever you want to call it, that rod right there is.
So I'm set up good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm set up good. But now I put straight braid.
That's up to you.
Well, that's because I'm scared of shit of throwing anything else. So like that, these things cost a lot of money. And I got a little bull shad on there. Like I just tried to throw it the other day at Latham and all that. So, but this the 7.9, 7.11.
I mean, these are 8-footers.
8-footers, so you getting that.
I've got a couple 7.4 cheaper rods that are just heavy and good action.
But but I'm in the ballpark here.
That is where you want to be, somewhere within that 1 ounce to 3 to 5 ounce.
Yeah.
range.
So what is this? Let's see. This one says
Should be to 3 ounces.
it says 12 to 20 pound test line, half to 3 ounce.
Deal.
And I will say this too. Now I threw this the other day. I started off actually throwing a buzzbait on it at Latham Saturday, and I was actually surprised at how well it did.
Yeah.
Caught a couple fish on it like that. So I know it's a swim bait rod, but I was like, a lot of rod guys. One thing too, though, a lot of people think you buy a rod, it's got to be a specific thing.
Oh, man.
No, rods you can translate depending on how you cast them and all that. So I was actually impressed. First time I thought it was Saturday, but you came in yesterday and you're like, no, dude, you got the setup. So I'm ready with the setup. I just got to buy $250,000 worth of baits over there to throw like that. So we'll do it. We'll
get
get
a
there.
Lamborghini's worth of baits in front of you. That's all.
Now you love Bucca baits.
I love Mike, man. And it's more of a respect thing for Mike is what it is for me. He is such a good guy. I've gone into the shop, not spent money, and just learned how to use baits. He's taught me how to use baits that I haven't purchased, which to me, that's a selling point, dude. Being a big bait guy, you see something in the store you like, I can't afford it, and they convince you to come back and buy it. We'll hold it for you. If this is the one you want, we'll hold it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff's cool, man. That you will get the utmost respect from me.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of business.
Bucca's a good dude.
Great guy, man. I love him.
He's goofy as hell, but he's a good dude.
Good dude.
He's a good dude. Kevin Cantrell, I think we just answered your question. So he likes 20-pound P-line.
Floor clear
P-line. Okay, there you go. The next question, scratch fishing. And we'll just start off with yours too, like that. Let's start with the different types and what's best for certain situations of lakes. Then which is the best for a beginner? Now let's start with the beginner. Guy that's just getting into swim baits. What is a good beginning bait? Is it these like that, or is there another model? And it doesn't have to be a Bucca brand. What's the best way for a guy to break into the big swim bait game? And Tony, if you got questions, jump in here too. I know you're listening.
I will.
Me personally, I would base it off of your forage of your lake that you are fishing the most. So if you don't understand the forage of your lake, I would go back and restudy before you start spending more money and wasting your time. You don't want to be throwing trout baits in the shad lake.
Right.
I'm not saying it doesn't work, but we want to be realistic. We want to match our hatch.
So if you got gizzard shad in your lake, these gizzard style baits?
Absolutely, all day. If you got a gizzard lake or a strict gill lake or a herring lake even, I still throw a trick shad on herring lakes only because of its versatility and ability to be worked so fast like a herring.
Yeah.
Beginner baits, though, I really recommend 6 cents baits. And the only reason I say that is because this 9-inch draw had too much crap, and the 6.5-inch draw. I mean, these things repainted, beat to hell. I've caught so many fish on these two. This was the first draw I bought. This was the first mini draw I bought. These are $25, and originally these were $70, but I think they're down to $50 now. Dude, these baits are gangster. They work. You can't beat them.
For a beginner.
For a beginner. You can't
6 cents.
6 cents.
6 cents draw.
1 ounce. You can throw this on almost any rod. This little guy right here.
Yeah.
And he's about $25, which I think their top waters are the same damn price.
Yeah. How do you work that? Is that a burning bait?
You can. So the cool thing about the draws is you don't burn them. You can slow glide them or you can fast twitch them. I haven't had the best of luck burning them.
Okay.
They just kind of walk off cadence a little bit after a while, but man, these baits are great for beginners. This is the bait that sold me on swim baits, actually.
The 9-inch?
The 9-inch draw, ghost glide. I was at the Hickory Log ramp, and I got stuck in the brush pilings to the right there where everybody fishes off the bank. And a wolf pack of 4 to 6 pounders came up and started nipping at it on the tree. We scared them off with the boat a little bit, but not bad. I whipped that bad boy back out there, dude. 7-pounder. Changed my life.
Changed your life.
Changed my damn life.
A light bulb moment is what he is saying. So Hickory Log again, thread fin, bluegill kind of stuff. Doesn't have the gizzards. Let's say that bait you got in your hand right there. What is that for?
Thread fin.
Thread fin lake.
This is the Clutch Eco. It's kind of like Bucca's 6-inch draw.
Yeah.
It's by Josh Plades from Clutch Swim Bait Co. This bait is gangster, but it's $100. Now he's got one of the best herring imitating baits, and I forgot it because I broke it in half. That joker's $235. It's a darter, and that clutch darter, the one I've owned for $235, has caught me $235 worth of fish.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that people are often scared about the price. But if you're a good angler and you don't get them broke off and stuff, eventually you're going to catch. You'll get your return on investment.
You will always, if that's anything in life, man, and that's kind of where I come from doing what I do, is if you don't have your heart in it, you don't believe in yourself, you ain't got no damn confidence.
Right. I got that. So Brad Silvers, any tips, baits, preferences for the deep stuff? So let's say now he wants to know about going deep. And we're going to go listen, tonight, I can just tell you right now with the questions and all that, we're going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
So we'll probably circle back to some of them, but we're just going to go question to question in the comment section. So deep stuff, what do you throw? Now, this is more of a soft one.
Deep stuff, this is the Citizen from Working Class Zero. This dude, oh my God, is a phenomenal bait. I've got another one that has been destroyed somewhere.
Let me see that puppy. So basically, you got
on a 10-aught.
10-aught hook, screw in the front, screw lock 10-aught.
You can pop it out if you want.
No, that's okay, because I'll never get it back in.
I will.
Yeah, you can do that. But well, anyway, so you can see it kind of right there.
Yep.
You can see the hook, but it does set in like that. And so you pop it back out. Now, you're going deep with this.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is not a resin style or plastic bait. This is more your silicone and all that.
Yes, sir.
When you go deep, do you prefer throwing the silicone over the harder baits? Is there a reason you're going with this bait? Is what I'm asking first.
Depending on the type of fish.
Right?
But 9 times out of 10, if they're deep, they're hunkered into that stuff, and you really want to.
And it's weedless.
A lot of the times, you want to put this thing as close as you can without being abusive.
Right.
And I call abusive because a lot of guys, when they get it down there, they get it nervous. We were talking about it earlier, actually. Too much. Sometimes baits are too much. Everything's inappropriate. You guys talked about it the other night.
Right.
It just depends on your action of the bait and how aggressive that fish wants it. Because if that fish is lazy, I'm going to throw the softest, most subtle bait I can in there. Sometimes it's a worm. If I can't get a fish to bite on one of these, one of those, I will throw a worm.
You will go back and throw a worm at them and all that. Yeah.
Damn it, I will throw the snot out of something like this or a glide bait if I can. I've had tremendous luck on the whales, running them on jig heads. Now, the only problem with these is you got to have a bigger hook. Like, you got to have a 5-aught, like the jigs I bought yesterday from you.
Hell, I don't remember.
They're over on the wall, but they have a 5-aught hook on them. I don't remember the brand name. I'm sorry.
You bought some Chattahoochee jigs yesterday.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
And they got a 5-aught hook on them, and they fit perfectly, profile size to these.
And you're still kind of keeping them weedless?
No, not at that point.
So that at that point, that's an exposed hook.
Then I'm praying with that swim jig with this big old boy on the back.
But you kind of said if you're scared to lose it, you don't need to be fishing it.
Don't be fishing it if you're scared, man. And if you're scared in anything, don't do it. That's
well, I get that. Sometimes it's easier to be, how heartbreaking is it when you lose an expensive swim bait? And what words do you say? Just don't repeat them.
You ever seen those guys that pogo stick themselves with a skateboard? That's what it feels like, man.
Swift kicking the balls.
Dude, it's rough.
Yeah, I bet.
I've cast it off one.
I was like throwing it and it break in the cast.
Zing pow. I lost $300. So I know what it feels like zing pow, and I know what it feels like swinging on the tree.
You know what my wife would say if I said, "Hey, check this bait out. It's $300 bait." Your wife's watching?
She knows. She loves
Bless your heart, hon.
Good woman. Love you, babe.
I love you. Yeah, he loves you.
JJ, Penelope, go to bed.
You go to bed.
Hell
You
yeah,
damn
it's
well.
bedtime.
She better love you for throwing 300. Tony, put the camera
On me?
on you.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you. How would you feel, first, if you threw off a $300 bait? And then secondly, how would Mrs. Tony feel after you threw off a $300 bait?
I lost a $300 camera and light stick off the back of the boat a few months ago, so I know sort of the feeling.
Yeah.
And I was contemplating how I was going to go 70 foot deep to get it back. So yeah, and I had to make the phone call, and it was not a good phone call. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" And it was even worse when I bought the new rig the next day. So yeah.
Lord,
yep.
That's crazy. Now, Steven Sturgeon, are the terms glide bait and swim bait interchangeable?
What is he talking about?
So, like when you say glide bait and I say swim bait,
Okay.
are they two different things, or is it like every rooster is a chicken, but not every chicken is a rooster?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just shooter's preference. Everybody's nitpicky on names and all that shit. But man, it's a swim bait game.
Swim bait is a
Glide
swim bait,
baits,
whether it's a
weight
glide bait,
baits.
weight bait, it's all the same.
Yeah, man, it's a swim bait game.
This guy's like laid back, like, yeah, man, it's the same.
Yeah, see, I thought swim bait was soft plastics and glide baits was hard plastic.
You say swim bait to me,
Yep.
I automatically think Kitech,
Right.
little Kitech.
Yeah.
3/8, 3/8 Kitech on the big side. But like John Aldred comes up here, and then you and all that, and others in the past. There's some big soft plastics out there in the world. He just showed me. How much did that one that I had weigh?
Which one?
That one you had that we were throwing in the brush, you handed
10,
me a second
10
ago with a screw lock.
Had the 10 off.
Oh, sorry.
Now, how many ounces you reckon that joker
It's
is?
2.7 without the screw lock.
2.7. How much does this Huddleston weigh?
Oh, damn. It's a raw 5, dude. That's all I know. It's a sink rate.
Well, I can tell you,
That
listen,
sucks.
it's heavier than anything I normally throw.
Yeah, it's got a chunk of lead in it.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
does.
got it. Now, cool thing was Steve Searcy, who watches the show from time to time, came up here today, and we were talking about it, and he collects baits. So he had this little collection of crankbaits and everything. But I told him, I said, John, my buddy John came up here yesterday. He gave me this Huddleston. He goes, check this out. So he pulled out an original first run Huddleston without the hook in it. It was just the body. And we laid it down side by side. This is still the exact same mold, the markings, everything, 100% the same as the original Huddleston, which tells me it's worked. They ain't changed nothing.
Yep.
That is why swim bait guys will own a Huddleston. All of us own a Huddleston. I own like 12.
12 of them. The only and John gave me this one, so now I own one. The only difference is in the plastic from now to then. This is a little more translucent on the bottom, but other than that, every marking, and I was counting lines on the tail, the fins, and everything
Wow.
hasn't changed.
It's
And if it
beautiful.
has changed, I couldn't see the difference. So
They're beautiful,
I'm gonna have to
man.
throw one of these damn things. Mark Judd, and we're gonna be way behind on the questions.
Yeah,
tonight,
we're way
'cause
behind.
We're gonna. That's okay. We'll get there. Do you add weight to get them deep? What kind of weight, if you do, add some? And I can tell you right now, he is a lead or wire on the hooks.
Lead wire, brother, man. You can't go wrong. It's the easiest thing to do. You ain't got to take a bait apart. It takes me about 37 seconds to wrap these.
Not
big old
40,
hooks.
just 37.
37,
So-
baby.
Where are you getting the lead wire? Where are you sourcing lead wire from?
Where do you get it?
6 cents or usually Tackle Warehouse.
Okay.
Home Depot. It's just
Home
standard.
Depot,
That's
wherever they got it.
That's what I was thinking. Home Depot.
Yeah.
wire, brother, if they got it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I noticed on one of your baits, though, and it might have been us talking earlier, and you got to pull it up. You only put lead wire on the front.
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
If you add it to the back, sometimes it'll throw off your action, and the bait will actually kind of drag more and go off balance and wobble.
So you'll start, unless you know how a bait acts, you'll start with the front hook first.
I don't throw a bait without playing with it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I am a dirty turd eater when it comes to buying something and learning how it works before I fish it.
Dirty turd eater?
Yeah, man. I'm
That's a new
nerd.
one.
I think we
I'm a
got that on
nerd.
camera too.
We got that on
I
camera?
think so.
That's a TikTok. I'm a dirty turd eater. So there we go.
So I got a question.
Yep, go ahead.
How do you determine how much lead weight wire that you're going to put on there when you're messing with? How do you go? I need to get 10 wraps versus 15.
I usually go off the bait size. Honestly, that's proved to be pretty productive, but it
Okay.
also depends on the size of your lead wire. A lot of these, like you'll notice on this little one, I've got a real thin grade wire on it. I can't remember the size, guys. I apologize. And over here, this is just standard size solder wire
Okay.
on this one.
Solder wire.
Yeah, man. It's lead wire. It's all the same.
It works.
Amen.
So I like that. Now, when we were talking earlier, Tony, when we were sitting up here yesterday, and all that, he's a tinkerer.
Yeah.
He's a tinkerer. And I find
I
that,
shave them, dude.
yeah, he's like you get these guys in here every so often. Will Harkins was one on the NPFL, but there are certain guys, and I think Steve, when he was in here earlier today talking to me, they like to pull stuff apart,
Yep.
add stuff here, add stuff that to get their own little flavor on that. But it's swim bait guys and kayakers. They think a little different than the rest
I
of
want
us.
to say that I watched a video with I think it was Milliken
Yeah,
took his
he
own
put
bait
one out,
apart
yeah.
and cut it up to give it more of a bend in the
Yeah.
action. Yeah.
So, but how about let me ask you this: do you do that on the really expensive ones? Come on, be honest. You don't pull a bait like a $300 swim bait apart, do you?
I paid money for it, didn't I?
I guess that's a yes.
I like that
I'm
confidence.
just kidding.
No, listen. Hey, listen.
No,
I get it.
man.
Trey Crenshaw, right there. Talk a little bit about the retrieves you do for a glide bait and a swim bait, which is kind of funny because now they're interchangeable. But let's just say you're working a true glide bait.
Slower, fast glide.
Yeah, you got chop glides.
We got
versus
chop
wide
glides and we got slow meandering
Listen,
glides.
listen.
We'll do them
now.
both, man. We'll
Do them both. You get the camera for a minute. Braves down 1-0. Crap.
All right, so we'll start with the draws since we've already talked about them. These little guys, usually I start off fishing a little fast, getting out there early in the morning, top water bites there. So, of course, I'm going to burn these things a little subsurface, a little faster twitch, walking action.
Do you do it with the rod or do you do it with the reel? Because I know some guys.
Everybody has their own opinion. Me personally, I feel it in the reel because it's a glide bait. So what's it doing? Rolling. What are you doing with your reel? You ain't cranking on it. You're rolling it.
So you go like a half a turn.
Half a turn and a bump usually. If it needs the bump. If it don't need the bump, we're just walking. Hap, swing.
So you're using your reel to get the cadence.
Yep.
Half a turn. If you want to slow it down, it's half a turn. Wait a second. Half a turn. Or if you want to speed it up, half turn.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We got that.
Now that's just with a glide bait. You know, if you're throwing, this is a meandering bait more or less. But if you want to start rolling them, you're going to give it almost a full turn.
Which is
bait is just going to
explain rolling.
Won't sound effects. Won't make it go real wide. You know?
I'm going to be out there going won't.
And then versus whereas you're like half reel turning and chopping it just with the tip, it's going to just chop.
Gives
like
you the tighter. Gives you the little tighter thing.
Just like a spook, man.
So you're basically spooking just under the water.
Amen. Subsurface, baby.
So on that chop versus the wide, if you got however you want to call it. So when you chop it, when you do that half reel turn, you just pause. That pause is what gives you that wide action. Is that what
as soon as it hits that tension when you're turning that reel, that bait's going to turn and do its thing. You stop.
Okay.
As soon as you feel it walk out, once that slack loosens in that line, I hit it again. Man.
Okay.
So, but you can almost choose the distance in the womp in the turn by how fast you hit the reel,
depending on the bait.
Okay.
Some baits like Bucca's V joint, dude, that thing is crazy. Like, dude, if you hit that thing on a full reel turn on a 711 on a good swim bait rod like that one, dude, that joker's going to go 3 to 5 feet to the left or right, whatever direction it wanted to go. You hit it again, it's going to go 3 to 5 feet back that way. And it's going to keep on going, dude. And that thing is just going to walk and walk and walk. It's beautiful. Looks like a dying shad.
Now, what determines that width of walk?
How hard you roll that reel.
So
you hit it hard, it shoots it.
It'll shoot it. If you hit it softer, it's just going to kind of turn it and meander it.
And it also depends. I'm assuming because that's what I've seen so far. As far as how far the bait bends to each side, is that right? Am I understanding that right?
Some of them, it depends. The more action, like the more open it is, the choppier it's going to be.
I guess.
But like the trick shad, it's an open jointed bait, and I can walk that thing 2 to 3 feet to the side.
Okay.
Without modifying it with minus the weight that I add to it.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this: when you take one of those and you let it sink down deep, because okay, again, not the most expert here, but I'm looking at the bait. A lot of the videos we see on Facebook, we're talking upper water column. So you see that thing glide, you see it do this. When that thing goes deep, are you getting that same action just down in the water? So hey, I'm 20 foot down, but I'm still, when I pop that thing, I'm kicking it just like that down over a brush pile 20 feet.
Absolutely.
It doesn't change.
It does not change.
You just have to picture it in your mind.
You have to know what to do. So
that's why you're here, dude.
In that sort of situation, you've got to A, know your bait that you're fishing, B, know where you're at, and C, be comfortable and in your capabilities when you're working that bait. So
right.
You can close your eyes and cast that bait and feel it doing the same thing 3 seconds ago that it did when you were watching it.
Yeah.
It will do the same thing underwater.
You mentioned something about, correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned something about you let it go to the side till you feel slack.
Start picking up your slack.
Once that thing kicks to the side and starts getting slack, that's when you're wanting to hit your reel again.
Yep, it's losing momentum. You want that bait to keep going because bait don't stop.
So if I wanted it to, let's say I'm fishing by a dock.
Deal.
and I'm bringing it up, and I want it to kick right and go under that dock, I can let it go as far as I want, as long as I don't hit that reel again. It will keep gliding in that direction under the dock.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So it'd be easier if I had a shorter rod.
That's okay.
So what I do, and everybody does it, the fishes swim baits, not just me. When you're trying to turn that bait to walk a little bit more, when you see it go the opposite direction, hit that reel again, and that bait will turn back the other way and go the direction you want it to. So you can walk any glide bait with the appropriate abilities of walking into cover, around cover.
So I can go with let's say I'm wanting to go left. It looks right on the screen, but wanting to go left under a dock. I kick it real quick to the right, boom, hit it to the left. I let it go, and I can let it travel. And then I want it to kind of stand to the dock, hit it real quick to the right, let it kick a little bit, but then hit it right back to the left. So like my action's under the dock.
That's where boat position comes in. As long you got to have your boat position for an appropriate dock cast for that.
Okay.
So that way you're not half jumping the bait one way and making it look fake, and then gliding back the other way. Well, he's kind of real, but he's not really real.
I get what you're saying.
Half choking one way. You want to get that thing within, I try to say 3 to 5 bumps, but I always try to make an appropriate enough cast to where I'm beyond what I'm trying to appropriate my bait into. So if I'm pitching at a dock that's 20 feet in front of the boat and the dock's 30 feet deep, I'm casting 80 feet.
I got what you're saying. Okay, good point right there. Farmer, good seeing you today, dude. If you had to choose just a handful of swim baits to cover your bases for big swim bait fishing for beginners, what would they be? So like just a handful of different, just shout out some models.
All right. S waivers are great, man. I think they're less than $30 for some of them, depending on what size you go.
Yeah.
The 6 cents mini draw, the 6.5 is great. Bucca brands, ABS trick shed. That guy's bad.
So that's the one from that's the one that GSM puts out.
This is a bad to the bone little bait. It comes with 2 tails. It comes with a split ring on the front, which actually the split ring on the front is interchangeable. Oh, I broke it. See. I abuse my stuff.
You abuse your stuff, but that for those that don't know, so Bucca has the ones that he makes in Kennesaw. Is that where his shop's at?
Down in Ackworth.
Ackworth, Kennesaw, and then GSM produces, and I don't want to use the word mass produces, but it's made more out of the plastic or ABS or whatever the hell that thing is. The price comes down on those because of the material. So if you want the real one, you get that straight from Bucca. Right. And if you want that one, but the paint job on that thing's astounding looking. I mean,
absolutely,
that's a jam up paint job.
They do a great job on their paint, man. Jen is fantastic at what she does.
Yeah,
and so is everybody in the shop. But big shout out to Jen. She paints the snot out.
That's what I heard.
Beautiful fish.
That's what everybody tells me. Jeremiah says March, April are 2 of my favorite months for glide baits, and then again July, November. Biggest I go to is a 9.5 Berkeley. Nessie Willem says. Glides are generally segmented. Glides segmented and generally hard baits. That's true. Most glides are your hard bait. Yeah. They're most hard bait. Good point.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Steve Magmoto, right there. If I said that right. How do you start out retrieving these large baits? So again, we're kind of covering some of these, and we're behind on the questions, so we might have answered it. But again, you were talking about know your depth, know where you want your bait. And then you just okay, let's say you start working out one a little fast, you don't get any draws, then you'll go to a little more, slow it down a little bit. You just keep working it in that area until you figure out what the fish want.
Absolutely, man. You got to figure out what them fish want. I spend 12 hours a day, 4 days a week on these electric lakes around us, throwing these giant glide baits. And there's 2 things that I have learned. You cannot get cocky, and you have got to have patience.
Yeah, I can tell how far we're back in the comments because we're still talking about that big plug knocker right there. Yep. So let's see. Timmy from Cincy. Hey, appreciate you joining us tonight right there. I keep getting followers on my glides. How do you trigger them into biting?
Don't freeze up. I know you probably don't take this like I'm talking crap to you, man, because I'm not. Don't freeze up. Keep that bait going. Not every fish is going to commit. They're just looking at it. If they looked at it, throw back at them, be brave, and have confidence. If you ain't got confidence in throwing it, continue.
Let me ask you this.
Or don't continue.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you have a follow.
Deal.
How many casts will you make before you just say, screw it, that fish ain't going to bite?
I'm batshit crazy, man. I'll throw 20 times if I think that fish is worth it, but it ain't going to be the same bait.
Oh, you might come back to it.
I'll come back, I'll smoke a cigarette or put a dip in, take a leak.
Yeah.
Pray about that fish, and I'll go back and
pray about that fish. I got it.
Cross his eyes.
Huh?
Something that I got from Austin near you watching his stuff. If y'all know Frost and
I
Austin,
love
Austin.
Austin is the man.
I was worried about throwing these big lights because I think we overthink it because it's a big bait.
Hey, they want you just real quick. They want you to move closer to the mic.
Yep. But I throw a jerk bait religiously.
Yeah.
And he said all it is a jerk bait. It's a jerk bait. And that gave me the confidence to start throwing it. Like, it stays on the deck of the boat now. It does not come off. And maybe that's, we overthink because of how big it is.
Gotcha.
I'm so glad you said that, dude, because the biggest thing that people misconstrue with swim bait fishing and conventional fishing is not following a parallel. If you're not following a parallel to the pattern of the fish, you are not going to catch fish on a swim bait. I mean, you won't be successful with it. You'll catch fish. They catch fish, but you will not be successful.
When you say parallel, so like saying, okay, this is more of a jerk bait style, or
okay, so in the springtime, you throw in a jerk bait.
Yep.
All them fish up there going to bed, doing their thing, looking for honeys. All the big honeys come up. Finally, you get a big Gina. I put the jerk bait down, burn that big shad. She's going to eat that shad. 1,000 to 1, she's going to eat that shad.
During the spawn.
During the spawn. You burn a jerkbait by them, cool, man. You will catch fish all day long. I'm a believer in a jerkbait in spawn. But I will throw this to catch 3 fish that weigh 10 to 12 pounds versus 10 fish for 10 pounds.
Yeah, no, I got you.
You know what I mean, man? And there's a quality in what swim baiting is, and you have to understand your parallels to that.
Okay.
Because you're throwing a limo compared to a freaking Mini Cooper. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Man's got a notebook he's pulling out right there too. While he's doing that, John Aldred, I think the Bucca brand 6-inch ABS trick shad or the Spro Chad shad are the best starter glides.
Yeah,
chop glides.
Yep.
Tim White, now Tim's back on the
What's up, Tim?
Tim's back on the plug knocker. I like this comment. Mine is a Mac Fars 12-ounce A-rig retriever on 1,800-pound mule tape. It pulls up the brush piles. Ask me how I know.
You pulling fish out with them in the brush pile? Is that how you beat us?
That's it. Let's see. Keep going down. Keep going down. What's up, Lipsticker? Eric Foster.
Deal.
And again, we're going to catch up with you guys eventually. Hopefully not. Do you prefer the 6-inch Mad Draft pre-rigged over the 6-inch freestyle shad? And what hook do you use if you're using the 6-inch freestyle?
I am a big believer in freestyle baits because I just think weedless baits are the trick. You can always add a stinger hook. I use 30-pound braid. Always.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it,
man. I don't know. Some about having that extra treble hook on the bottom scares me. Yeah, I know he's thrown into trees. He's got a freaking bait knocker. We don't like to play games if we don't have to.
I like how you said that. That's that.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it. That's for me. Keep it simple, stupid like that. Steven Sturgeon. And Jonas says hickory log getting some love. Yeah. I'll tell you that, guys, this about hickory log. We call it dinkery log. We do. Because you got to catch a bunch of little ones there. But when it comes to every year, the biggest bass I see come out of Allatoona on the big side, as far as largemouth. Okay. Lanier, average, yes. But the big, giant largemouth, Allatoona, here in North Georgia, Allatoona, and on the electric-only lakes, hickory log. Now, you can go to Rocky and catch your 7s and your 8s, but every spring, there's always guys catching. And like my partner,
12-year-old with a 12-pounder, man.
10-plus pound bass, hickory log's got them.
Dude.
My partner, that when I had to go to that funeral, the last tournament, he was at the dam. I told him what to do. I know I got lucky every once in a while. 10-4. And in that same tournament, Eric Richards had, I think, a 9.6, 9.7 and all that.
Crazy, dude.
It was crazy. And I felt bad for Eric because he probably fished the rest of the day like, I got big fish. And here comes William with a 10-4. But
heartbreaker.
We tease it saying dinkery log. Hickory log's got some monster largemouth in it. And Tim's probably caught, Tim's 7s and 8s.
Probably living the best living proof we've got for the most.
He's caught some big fish out of it.
Dude,
he's caught some big fish out of it. Hate hickory log, just go to Latham. Sure. Antonio Scott says you're doing great.
Thanks, brother.
You know Antonio?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Like
That's
that.
Tony.
Let's see. I'm going on down, trying to do that. Keep on going down. I think we caught up on questions. The KGB rods are amazing. I liked
they
it.
are.
Keep on scrolling down. Let's see. Tim White. Now, this is Tim White said this, and I'll get to Brad Silver's question out above it. There's no such thing as a lure specific rod. He's right.
He is.
But there are guys that will have 13 rods and they're like, this is my swim bait rod. This is this rod. And I'm like, if the damn thing will cast it and I can set the hook on it, I'm throwing it. And be honest, the thing says 1/2 to 3 ounce. I was throwing a 3/8
And
buzz
it was
bait.
whipping it, dude.
It did whip it. It whipped it. And I like this, the JC Elite Reels. Thank you, Spro. And that they got an 11 ball bearing when that's the 9. It threw it, and that. But the one thing I had to get used to on this, got that longer butt section.
Oh yeah.
That took just a second, but after I got that down,
I like it, man. That extra little butt length, dude.
I like extra little butt too.
Dude, you cross their eyes.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell Mrs. Pruitt when I get home. Extra little butt, we'll cross that eyes. How much weight are you typically adding for deep stuff again?
It's not really off of a weight amount. It's the lure size and my lead wire size, because I run 2 or 3 different sizes of lead wire depending on my baits. The little ones get the little wire. I usually go about bait length, wrap it from the top of the eyelet on the hook all the way down to the bottom and underneath the trebles. I know that's a bad explanation, but
It's a good for this show.
So-
sorry, pal.
This is like government work here. Just get it close.
That one question I had pulled up a minute ago was asking about how to get them to suspend when you're trying to get them down.
Oh, I didn't see that. My bad.
That's a Steven question.
They've got added suspending things you can do to them, but once again, Ben Milliken, he put a piece of foam on the top of a bunch of his jerk baits, and I started doing that to these guys and
Just
taking the
gluing a
lead
piece of
wire off.
foam on it.
Well, they got the sticky back 3M tape on them.
Oh, yeah.
So you cut it thin, that'll add just enough, but you got to be careful. You start adding weight and adding different concepts to these things. These things were built and set to run the right way. You got to be careful with how much you add.
All right. So real quick, now let me tell you guys this, because we are actually way, way, way behind.
Yeah.
And it's 1 hour. That first hour flew by, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
I didn't realize what time it was.
Yeah, so we got to do our question of the night, and then we're going to go ahead and do this. So Tony has to scroll all the way down. Go ahead and scroll all the way down. We're going to miss some of you guys' comments and questions.
Yeah.
So after we do the question of the night, type them again, okay? And we'll try to we'll be caught up, if anything. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As much as I love you and I'm happy, I want to give away something good tonight.
Give it to them, man.
I'm going to send this Huddleston to the first person that gets this right. Okay?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is
That's
a good one. Because,
one.
like, listen, I'm being honest. I'm like, damn, Danny, don't do that.
Dude, yeah.
But I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you this Huddleston
And a
Dang.
trick shad.
and a trick
Oh,
shad.
And a trick shad.
Hell yeah, dude. So
We
tonight,
should have come up with a tougher question.
yeah, I know it's not going. It's not. Kevin Thornton's going to really
Oh,
not
man.
like it. Okay.
Man.
All right. So tonight you're going to get a trick shad and a Huddleston to the first person that answers this question correctly. All right.
You want to do Serve IT real quick?
Let's do Serve IT. Our buddies at Serve IT, guys. If your company is looking for an all-inclusive, all-in-one destination for its IT services, Serve IT is the company for you. Technology and managed services. They got a great process, customer service oriented, based in the United States. They got a process that's amazing, and they will take care of you from start to finish. If you're just now getting started in your IT, if you got an existing IT, you need them to take over. Problem solving. They stay on it till it is done. Serve IT here. We love the guys there. We're thankful for them to help make the live well possible. And again, if you're looking for a change in your career, and you got good customer service skills, you're a problem solver, and a lot of us fishermen and outdoorsmen are, go to serveit.com, hit their career section, tell them you saw or heard about this at Fish North Georgia, and you will get at least a phone call, be able to talk to see if it's right for you. But we thank the fine people over at Serve IT. Here's the question. You guys got to be fast tonight because somebody's going to get it. Steven said, don't forget your sponsor.
Yeah.
We got it, guys. We got it. What's up, Joshua Stone?
What's
All
up, Josh?
Here's the question. This is too damn easy.
Damn, I gave away free money, huh?
Yeah, so did I. I gave away that damn
Mhm.
Huddleston he gave me.
Dang.
All right, you
Okay,
you
good.
guys ready? What's the name of a woman's self-defense system that I said today on the lunch break? It is how women turn you down, and it is that extra sensory they develop as they get older. When we were younger, all you had to do was touch them, and there was whoopee. Now, the second you start moving your hand, boom, your missile's shot down. What's it called?
I got it already.
We've done it.
Michael Lewis.
Attaboy.
Michael Lewis. Look, all of them like Iron Dome, Iron Dome.
That was so fast, I almost lost the first call. It went that quick.
Listen, I'm telling you, women, Golden Dome, Adam W. Fishing. That's the name of my junk. But anyway, no, Iron Dome. Women develop an Iron Dome as they get older that will shoot down every one of your missiles as you get older and in marriage. It is something that happens. It is non-negotiable. It's going to happen. Whether if you guys have been married 3 years, yeah, you don't know about it yet. Be married 30, and you're going to experience the Iron Dome defense system of the female human species. So anyway, Michael Lewis, hit me up on Facebook, dog. You need to do it, Danny, directly to me, or you can go to Fish North Georgia. Message me your address. Dude, that's a good, listen, for such a crappy question.
Man.
But you know why it ain't crappy? Because those guys watched the lunch break today.
There you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
You got to watch the lunch break right
Good
there.
on you,
So
man.
you get a Huddleston and a Trick Shad.
Man.
That might be one of those that get lost in the mail and I keep it. Send me your address. Hey, listen, thank you for doing that. That's
Absolutely,
awesome.
man.
Look at all of them. I got the answer, but I already got both baits. Hey, that's how you can never have too many. So anyway, can you tell my wife, my wife's swim baits don't do well when casting the bridge pilings and all that? No.
You should be lucky your wife's fishing swim baits, brother, man.
Well, listen. When it comes to that couple right there, she's the brains and the looks and everything of that situation right there. Tony's a good dude, but Tony got punted his coverage, and he is like, he's the chain on that one. He's the one dragging that couple back.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Michael-
I love you guys.
Michael said he's
I'm 5 minutes away. I'll be by someday soon.
Why don't you come by tonight, brother, man?
If you want to come get them now, come knock on the door. I'll let you in. What about Seville style baits? Do you do anything besides burn them?
I mean, Seville's, man, they're kind of just like a crankbait. They're small, multi-jointed, kind of like your bull shad right there.
Most people burn them.
You burn them and stop them, man. When I pause it, that's usually when they crush it.
Right there.
But I really don't throw them tiny baits like that.
Yeah, tiny. Listen, I don't throw them tiny baits like them Sebills. I don't throw tiny Sebills.
That's not like they don't work, man. It's still
Y'all
a
just
swim
scared.
bait.
Y'all scared of her. Hell yeah, I'm scared of her. Anthony Hampton, do you have a Hinkle?
Yes, sir.
He's got a Hinkle right here.
And she is beat to ever-loving snot.
Listen, the tail's missing pieces right there. There's paint chipped off of it. There is absolute teeth marks on it. How do you throw the Hinkle?
Well, first off, you have to find one and or buy one. I was lucky enough for Austin Neary to sell me this for $400.
God almighty, 400?
Brother, man, I've seen people pay $1,200 for one of these things.
Really?
Yeah, so I think I got a decent deal
I think so.
Yeah.
in my eyes.
In your eyes?
This is a slow bait, man. You meander it, but there is something about this particular bait that Andrew Hinkle has done that people ain't doing.
When you say meander, describe the meander of that bait.
It's just a nice, big, slow,
Won't. Slow glide.
slow glide, man. And that bait just folds and rolls perfectly.
Describe the hit when a bass comes up and attacks one of those.
You know that saying, the bottom drops out?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's like that, but in your shorts. It's bad, but it's beautiful. You feel something?
There's so many damn one-liners coming out of the show tonight. We got to keep all this stuff.
This dude,
What's the biggest fish you caught on that thing?
this one,
Yeah.
2 pounds, maybe.
2 pounds?
Yeah, dude, I don't throw this thing much. It's my
Oh, hell,
only
because
one.
it's cost $400. I wouldn't throw it.
it. Well, my go-to, man, still.
That's crazy, though, a 2 pound bass to hit that thing.
Dude.
That's like when you catch a brim on, like, old monster.
You told me you're talking about that. My buddy and me went out last Saturday.
All right.
I was teaching him how to throw the 7-inch trick shad. I was throwing the 9. I caught a 15-inch bass on this bait, one cast demonstration. Now, you tell me if that's not convincing to get somebody into the glide bait game. Adam, I know you're watching. There you go, buddy. Dude.
So the thing they always tell me about a bass is, number one, they don't have mirrors.
Yep.
So they don't know how big they are. And if they think they can get it in its mouth, they'll hit it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's crazy
100%,
right
dude.
there.
It's like a fat kid at a buffet.
Who you calling fat? I like buffets.
I like fat fish.
I like fat buffets, man. Buffets, butts, you name it. Like it's okay. All right. What's your biggest bass, and how'd you feel when you landed it?
8.3. It was on a Magnum catwalk in Okeechobee. Man, I tell you what, dude, that was probably my lamest cast to catch I've ever had. That was terrible. The biggest fish of my life, and it was just the deadest fish after it struck. It hit it, dude, at like 80 feet. I was casting out along
80 feet away from the boat. Because
80
I can't
feet
say there
away
ain't
from
no
the
80
boat.
foot in Okeechobee.
Dude, when I swung that stick and I hit that fish came out of the water ready to give me a fight, and she just went limp. I just reeled her back to the boat. I grabbed her and put her in the boat.
I got a lot of things I could say about that.
Iron Dome.
Huh?
Iron Dome.
Iron Dome.
Iron Dome, brother.
Iron Dome. Nothing will make it limp quicker than the old Iron Dome right there. Let's see. Josh Menard. I use the JDM manufactured glides like the DRT Clash, which you have right there.
Brother man.
There he's got. For some reason, they work so much better, but I own custom wood glides that look so real, and the action is so perfect. Do you like JDM more when it comes to your baits? Do you like the JDM over the...
I'm American made, brother man, but these Japanese baits have convinced me to go a little JDM.
I got you.
I mean, well, first off, dude, I'm glad he asked about this bait because this is the most universal glide bait on the market, man. They've got 3 or 4 different lips. You can crank this thing down. You can change out the tail for another tail. The tail will make it actually like an airplane wing. So if you flip the tail upside down, it'll force the bait a different direction, like down, to where you can legitimately work this thing down at like 8 feet, like a giant freaking jerk bait.
Really?
Dude, the DRT Clash 9 and Tiny Clash are 2 of the most gangster baits on the planet. How never, good luck getting one.
Hard to get.
Dude, I got lucky with this brown trout only because of Austin Neary. Once again, when he still owned Dreamcatcher Fishing, that was their collab.
Really?
Dude, I'm telling you.
That hard to get.
People always talk about the swim bait game being a money thing. Dude, it's not. It is a fishing thing because it's a freaking timing thing. Half these baits that you look at this table, these viewers can't get. Not right now. I mean, unless you live local and you go to Bucca shop or you go to Dick's and they might have something like this available, but where else are you going to go and just pick up something crazy?
I told John Aldred I was going to have to, in the shop, if I wanted to set it apart, I need to start carrying, like do the big swim bait game.
Dude.
Because not a lot of people do carry them.
I'd be in here all damn day.
Well, there you go. Whatever I can do to get you to spend money. Do you have, let's see, Alex wants to know, do you throw an OG topwater?
An OG? Yeah, I do got an OG. I got 2 of them. I'm not a big fan of them. They work, but these baits are really just more like a one style kind of chop and go kind of bait, man. It's the same as the darter, in my opinion. I don't think it glides that well as far as meandering glide, slower glide.
Right. You know how bad I'm out of the swim bait game? Because when he said OG, I was thinking of cast topwater.
I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I hope this is what he's talking about.
I would say so. I would say so. It's just the way my brain works. Do you have a bluegill imitator?
Absolutely. If you bass fish and you don't throw a bluegill imitating bait, you're wrong. I don't have the trick gill. I need to go spend some money on one, but this bad boy right here, another draw, proven to be a protector. This is my second one, man. But when I was in Okeechobee, dude, this bait catches fish.
Can I use that on a hickory log?
Yeah, if you want to.
Will it work? Hell, I mean, I know I can use it. Will it work?
I
have no confidence in any of this yet. I am living vicariously through you.
I would take a different rod because this is almost, with the lead on it, it's 4 ounces, so it might break that rod.
Gotcha.
I'll let you take a rod, dude. Sure.
I know you gave me that one to take to Florida.
Oh yeah,
I know. We'll talk about it after. I just got to be able to beat Tim. Let's see. If Will Elms. So bottom line outdoors says 316 makes great swim baits when you can get them.
Yes. Amen. I agree with that when you can get them.
Yeah. If big glides / swim baits ain't working, do you ever slow down and throw something slow like a jig or a worm?
Yes, I do. The bigger the worm, I'm a glide bait fisherman, so everything is giant. It's a compensation thing. I ain't that big of a dude. I'm 5'9". I will throw a Carolina rig with a...
Turn around when you're talking. Turn around. Yeah, get your rod and come back to the mic so they can hear you. That's okay. You're a FNGO virgin here tonight. You know, we're having to teach you things.
Popping my cherry, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I didn't want to go that far, but there you go. He said it. I didn't.
This is a Magnum shaky worm from 6 cents.
Holy man.
That's on a 10-aught hook. I'll throw the regular Divine shaky worm on a 7-aught hook, or I will drag either this or the Divine shaky worm on a Carolina rig. And these two worms, man, this one and the 7-inch green pumpkin hickory log is a hammer.
I got
Hammer.
it. I got the subtle hint. But okay, so let me ask you this though. How do I want to phrase this? So even when you slow down, you're still basically fishing for the 3 to 4 bites that you might get in a day, even with those worms.
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I got you.
I want to catch the biggest fish on every body of water every single time I go out. Bucca said it best when I heard it from him, man. If you want to be a good fisherman, you have to be a trophy fisherman.
That's like a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a really good saying.
That's a Bucca-ism.
That's
A Bucca-ism. If you want, say that again.
If you want to be a good fisherman, you need to be a trophy fisherman.
John's voice is like Morgan Freeman's. I would listen to him read the cooking directions off the back of a frozen pizza box. Listen, you know what? I was thinking this earlier when he was talking. I'm like, damn, his voice is deep.
Yeah.
I mean, no Brokeback Mountain here or nothing like that, but still, like, hold on a second. We're going to do a little test.
Uh-oh.
We're going to do a little test. Read me.
You want me to do an advertisement?
Yeah, not for me.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
right here. We're just going to pull a magazine out. This is from Marshwear catalog that I got in here, the clothing and all that. I just want you to read what's inside the lines right there.
You know he's going to have to read.
This is, we're doing a reading here. And you can read, right?
We were in the Army a little bit, so kind of.
Kind of. Okay. So just read that.
Welcome to paradise, where the water is always warm, the fish stay hungry, and the days slip away chasing waves and soaking in the sun. Time moves differently here. Once you settle in, you may never want to leave.
Yep.
I got a chub. No, yeah, but I get it, Tim. I get exactly what the hell you're saying right there. That was sexy.
Yeah.
Hey, now one more thing, and we'll get back on it. Sing the first verse of Long Black Train.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I sang that in church, actually.
Yeah, I figured you did. Sing it. He's like, I don't want to do that. Okay. Is there a different retrieve for a bluegill glide? Silver Punk wants to know.
No, sir. Personally,
I can't do it now. We've been talking about its voice. No.
I believe.
Can you get that deep? Hold on. Tony, can you get? I can't get that deep.
I can get pretty deep.
It
Doesn't sound as good.
No. Hey, this is gangster.
Yeah.
That bait's gangster.
Hello, my name is Johnny Cash.
There you go. So there you go. All right, so anyway, tell them about the retrieve.
I believe, man, and Austin Neary taught me this. If you guys don't know Austin Neary, go check him out.
Frost and Austin on YouTube.
He's
Yep.
the man. Great Christian human being, solid human being.
He's a goober, but I like him.
Austin saved my life, but that's a different story.
He's a good dude. He is a good dude. I like him.
If I could tell, and this is a direct quote from Austin, if I could tell bait fish to stop, I would. However, they don't.
Nope.
They haul ass, dude.
Yes.
90 miles an hour. So if I get a follower, I'm picking it up, man. I pick up that speed, cadence, whatever. I'm going.
That's the same thing. I'm glad you said that because you're talking about swim baits and glides. But Kevin Underwood will do that. That's something he taught me on Lanier.
Yep.
Herring,
They're
Flea.
fast.
and they don't slow down to get eaten.
Yep.
They don't.
Dude.
Yeah.
A blueback herring could do 3 circles around your electric boat by the time you took off.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They are so fast.
They're so fast. And when he sees one, boom, it's coming back fast. That's just something I picked up from
Man,
Kevin.
how many times have you been hit when you've been reeling it back in thinking that the cast was over and they hammer it?
Exactly.
And it's
dude.
always right there at the boat.
Right
It
at the
scares the hell out of
Yep.
you.
Oh, I love it.
I do
dude.
too.
God.
Andy Miller. Pull up old Andy right there. Yep, that one. Big baits do catch numbers at time. One day I caught 11 big girls from 4 to 8 pounds in 5 hours. I was so excited I got cocky and I smashed on the seawall.
Well,
I get it.
Dang, buddy, that sucks that you smacked the seawall. But yeah, man,
I ain't feeling sorry for him. He caught 11 fish from 4 to 8 pounds. That's a sack.
That's beautiful, brother, man. I've had good days, man, but usually, like I said, I am chasing them bigger fish.
Let's see. Brief Chief. I don't recognize that name, so appreciate you joining us tonight. Hickory Log does have some hogs. I got proof. Caught a monster on a popar.
Right on, brother, man.
Hey, they're there.
Dude.
They're there. Very first time Josh and I ever fished it was in the middle of winter, and there was 2 kids across the lake from us, and they started screaming. We done thought they had problems. You know, something was happening. Oh, my God, you pulled out the rat. We flew over there. They had a 9.9 that they had caught, and it was cold as hell in about 4 foot of water on the backside of a stump. But they were screaming so bad, we thought something was wrong.
Yeah.
They're there. I like throwing big wake baits. Do you throw any?
Yeah, man. I throw
Yeah, man.
the bull wake, which I actually bought here in store, and another one down in my box. It's a little bit different color I got from Bucca shop. And then you can't go wrong with a rat, dude. I don't care where you are. Bass are instinctual feeders. If they see something moving naturally enough that looks real enough, granted that's pink, but don't tell me pink don't catch fish, because the last year has proved that wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Dude.
A pink rat. Is that a Bucca or is that another? Bucca makes them.
Rat,
That's a combat rat. Bucca has a rat. Jeremiah, if I remember, he has that what I call the 5 points rat that was pink and purple and all that.
That thing's wild.
Reminds me a little bit of going down to 5 Points in Atlanta. Not that I've been there. I've heard. You know, no offense to those of you living in 5 Points. Here's a good question. Pull up Steven Sturgeon's.
I love it. I wish I brought my stuff in.
Now, see, here's the thing. First of all, bait fuel.
Yes.
You like bait fuel?
No.
Okay, good, because I don't. Thump gel?
Yes.
You like thump gel?
Thump gel, bait pop, and bang, baby.
Bang is like, okay, but let me ask you this. When they see a glide bait or something moving, and this is something I can't get in my brain, I think fish see it. They're already going to, they're going by sight at that point. I just don't see baits. Is it when they hit it, they hold on to it? Because I'm like, I don't believe in the scent trail stuff for bass. If you're fishing catfish, yes. And I could be wrong, but that's just the way my brain works. But what you're saying is when they hit it.
It's a taste thing, man.
So when they hit it, it helps them to hold on to it.
I believe that if you have something on there that tastes more realistic versus a piece of plastic, you're going to catch them.
I can go with that. What about you, Tony? I mean, do you believe in this scent stuff?
I always use the garlic, chartreuse, all that stuff.
For the Italian fish.
For the Italian fish. But I started using the thump gel on my shaky heads, and I think it works.
Dude, you put some bang and some thump gel on that bad boy.
Yep.
They will destroy it.
I think it works.
Bang and thump gel at the same time.
Oh, dude, I get nasty with it, man. I will put everything on it if I want that big fish to commit.
But you don't like the bait fuel.
I'm not a bait fuel guy. It doesn't hang on to it like Bang does.
Bait fuel should be sold at adult bookstores. That's the slickest, greasiest stuff out there.
And I will say the thump gel stays on there. Like, I mean, you'll
Does it?
Yeah, you'll make 10 casts.
That's the difference between thump gel and bait pop, dude. Bait pop, 3 casts is gone.
Yeah. But thump gel's on there.
It sticks.
But more so, not for necessarily the attracting power, for the holding power.
Yep. For the holding power. And sometimes I do it, just to give it a little sparkle if it's a little bit, I need some flash.
Okay, no, I can go at Tim White says you can lob cast a 4-ounce bait on a 3-foot Snoopy rod. I'm surprised he didn't ask me how I know on the end of that. How long has it been since you've used live bait?
Live, like with my son, brim fishing?
I guess. Is a cricket count as live bait? So you probably have, when's the last time you used this? I will say this, growing up, we're talking about all these big swim baits.
It's a cardinal sin for a swim bait guy to throw big baits.
It's a what?
A cardinal sin
for a swim guy to throw big baits?
To throw live bait.
To throw live bait, okay. But on the farm pond I grew up, now that I'm looking at the size of these baits, I always would catch brim to catch bass. But the sadistic side of me, every once in a while, I'd catch one bigger than my hand, and just for shits and gigs, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. I put a hook on it, throw it out there, and I would watch big bass. They wouldn't always eat it, but they would just knock the crap out of it like they were playing with it.
Trying to kill it.
Just trying to kill it, just out of sheer meanness.
Absolutely,
which does kind of make sense with these big baits.
I have foul hooked so many fish, but you know what, man? A hook set's a hook set, a cast is a cast, and a catch is a catch.
Okay, I like that. That's another damn T-shirt. Those are Johnisms. We got Bucca-isms and Johnisms. What knot are you tying, Timmy from Cincy wants to know, on your baits?
Either a double San Diego jam or a standard clinch knot sometimes. Just it depends on what size of the bait.
I honestly have never had like an improved clinch knot fail.
Dude, it's the man. It's not. It's not the knot. It's
If
the
tied
man.
right. If tied right.
But the San Diego Jam has been a proven baddest to the bone knot on the planet. So
That's true. Would you use pull up Stephen Magmoto? What would you use on Alatuna for buckets? So like you're on Lake Alatuna, you want to catch the biggest largemouth you can. What are you throwing?
9-inch trick shad or an 11-inch trick shad.
That 11-inch trick
Dude.
shad, dude, is like, I'm serious.
I missed 2 back-to-back mega stripers with Austin throwing that damn thing, goofing off.
I could see stripers hitting it.
Dude, but one day I was truthfully goofing off with Ron. He's one of the guys in the comments up there. Hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy? I was goofing off on the back of his boat on Lanier, and I had the biggest wolf pack of spots come up and just start smacking this bait, dude.
Just out of meanness again.
Just pure pissed off. But I mean, you look at the size of that tail, dude.
Yeah, it's a big bait. There's no doubt. Let's see. Oh, they're putting. So we're still behind a little bit. We're putting you on the spot with your talking. That's how it works here. Let's see. Now, Stephen wants to know: do you get many pike or muskie? Now, Stephen, here in Georgia,
no,
we really don't have any of those. You got to go up closer to Tennessee. Some of the lakes got them little chain pickerels. Am I saying that right? Like, the lakes that come out of Burton, those like Seed and all that, they got a few and all that, but we really don't have those here. But I will say, when I was in Tennessee filming, we were trying to catch muskie on the Collins River on a fly rod. And after we couldn't do that, he gave me a swim bait that honestly was as big as any of these that you see here. Hard body on the front, soft tail, and it was a paddle tail. And I caught 2 that day, the last 2 hours, big muskie. What was cool was different. You're on a river. Bass guys, we're going down the river. We see a turn, and on the outer side of the turn is a steep wall. That's where your logs and all that were. That's where we would go. The muskies actually would sit on the inside of the turn on the muddy bank. And that's where we got all our strikes, was on the muddy side. And he just said that's just the way muskie are. Stephen Walden. What would be a good tournament size of a glide to throw? Now again, so now we're in a tournament. You want that big fish, but you also want some numbers. So you're going to go with a 7-inch.
7-inch trick shad all day, brother, man.
7-inch trick shad.
That is my go-to. That is the bait that I throw.
Hey, appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah, I know Steven.
You know Steven?
Yeah, we worked together years ago on a TV show set. So,
well, there you go, dude. Appreciate you joining us. Josh McPherson. You ever throw glide baits around marinas or docks at night around the lights? I've heard of throwing a Seville, but thought about trying a glide bait to keep it in the strike zone longer. That's a good idea.
Me personally, man, middle of the night, I'm usually home. I got 2 kids.
So you don't fish at night a lot?
Not a lot, but when I do go out,
I
will
throw
the snot out of a glide bait still.
And I think the glide bait, now when you're fishing a green light or something, in my experience, and I could be wrong, the majority of the bites that I've always gotten have been just inside the shadow, right on the edge.
If you do fish them, I would definitely cast past them, like I said earlier.
Yep.
Keep that boat positioned appropriately, and just hang on, man.
Because my thinking is, even in that light, they still get a good look at it.
Yeah.
But if you think of a predator, and I know they'll go through the light, but a lot of them predators will sit off just in the. You'll see that big shadow kind of going around it.
Yeah.
Very hardly do you ever see it like go over the light. I know they do, but most of them are right along the edge. So to me, you would get your strike on a glide when it first is right on the edge, and then maybe as it's going, not over it, directly over it, but like off an edge back into the shadow again. That's just my thinking.
Going into it or coming off of it is always going to be a glide bait strike. That's just how it works. Very rarely will you see them hit it in the middle.
These people are going to be sitting on their docks at night now and they're going, kabloos, big old glide baits coming around.
my first glide bait bite was on a dock that has a light on it. It was right after the light turned off, and it was on the opposite side of the dock where the light was on one corner.
Yeah.
The fish hit on the opposite side. They wouldn't nothing hit on that side. They hit on the opposite side.
Well, I mean, they're predators. They sit in that shadow right there. Pull up, Tim. The best scent ever made was Jack's Juice garlic oil. From what I hear, he died and the company died with him. And that happens with a lot of small companies. But back again to that garlic. I still have that garlic, them Italian fish.
Hey.
Do you ever use clips or loop knots on all of your big baits?
No, sir.
No, you tie straight to it.
Straight to it. Unless it comes with it. If it comes with it, You stick to what the company says. Unless you don't like it, then do what you want.
Look at Tim's next comment. Cost you $80 a can on eBay.
Dadgum.
Yeah, that's
$80, Tim. You might as well go buy a glide bait.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about you fussing about prices with what I've heard you talking about that.
Hey, man.
Brandon Battles.
That's my cousin. Hey, Brandon.
Johnny.
Dude, he's a beast. He's a freaking gorilla.
Hey, look, is that him in the profile pic right there?
Yeah, that's when he played football. He's a
big boy.
pro power lifter now, dude.
Oh, wow.
That dude benches like 500 pounds, squats 1,000, deadlifts 8 billion.
No shit.
He's a beast, man.
So what you're telling me is, if I'm gonna fight him, just shoot his ass in the knees.
shoot him twice.
Shoot him.
Don't
but I'm
shoot
gonna-
him once. Shoot
yeah,
him twice.
I
That's a big
gotta
old boy.
bust his knees out. I'm too damn old to fight at this point in my life.
Oh, Brandon's a good.
We're
dude,
gonna
man.
be peacemakers, or I'm just gonna shoot you.
He just became a dad, so congratulations.
Congratulations on that,
Congratulations.
Johnny. You tell everyone I taught you everything about fishing. Is that true?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, listen though, he's pretty big.
Yeah, he is. He ain't
Sure you did.
He lives in West Palm. He ain't coming up.
West Palm.
Florida. Yeah,
Oh, he's a Florida boy, Flatlander.
that's where I'm from. Okeechobee, baby.
I know. Where deep to you guys down there is 8 foot.
God, but there's alligators, so it ain't deep because you don't go in.
I get it 100%. Let me ask you this. What is a common mistake you made when you first started throwing glide baits? What is the thing that you had to fix? It might have took you a while, but you're like, I'm not doing something right. What was it?
Understanding the bait, man. When you buy a bait, you have to understand how the bait works, because a lot of these baits and these companies specifically make a choppy bait or a meandering bait or a serpentine bait, which is just
Tight.
real tight, wobble all the way through the water. It depends, man.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you this. So this is a little 5-inch bullgill. Is that the bullgill?
I think it's just the bullshad.
Bullshad. I said bullgill. Bullshad. After I was throwing on Latham, getting my ass kicked the other day, I caught some. Like I said, I caught a few on a buzz bait early, and then that bite died. And I'm like, well, I got the rod, I got this, and I went to throw it. The problem was, in my inexperience, I didn't know exactly what to necessarily target with it. I'm just throwing it and just pulling it along the bank. With something like that, what would I be targeting with that bait right there?
Is that a slow sinking, suspending?
Slow sink.
Slow sink. I would chase schooling fish with that.
So I should have been throwing it at the schooling fish.
Absolutely, man. When they stop crushing and you can see them and you're chasing that pot of bait and you can see where them fish are and them fish are following that pot of bait, hit them don't hit them in the head with a cast pass.
Yeah, for sure.
But, that's the other thing. You got to understand the parallels between the bite now and the swim bait. So if you've only got one swim bait, 9 times out of 10, you've only got one way that they might, you might catch them on a swim bait.
You want a date Saturday?
Sure.
Not me. Unfortunately, freaking Tim said he'd buy you breakfast if you're going to go hickory log with him Saturday. I guarantee it's a hickory log because that's our next tournament.
Tim, I'll take you to hickory log if you want, man. But I promise Danny juice. So
You can share it with Tim.
I don't do it.
No, you can share it with Tim.
All right.
He's going to beat me and take
I'd
my
love
money
to
anyway.
fish with him, dude.
Yes.
I would learn so much from that dude. I'd be using him versus him using me.
You want me to give him your number after the show?
Yeah,
Can I text? I'll text you his number after the show, Tim. But seriously, take him. I mean, that would be good. And then I'll beg him to teach me like that. So
I'll take you, man.
$400. That's what I paid for my first car.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, pull up Joshua right above him. John, tell them about the technique you used to catch the big spot you caught on Carter's with the 9-inch, 6-inch glide in the stumps.
Dude, that was all right. You want to talk about the balls heat of summer? First off, Josh, thanks for bringing that up. What a pain in the ass day that was. Dude, so 8 hours into fishing, throwing my big bait all day. This guy specifically. I get waffle stomped. Last cast. Missed it. My dad said, throw back in there. I said, he ain't going to hit it. Everybody says they don't hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Throw back in there. Sure. 80-year-old man was right. 3A, 3.9, just shy of 4. Came up and just smashed it, dude. smashed.
But it was on the stumps or something like that. Like it was
right
over.
over the trees, dude. I was walking this thing in and out and around these thick ass stumps sticking up out of the water, opposite of the river where I told you
Mm-hmm.
go the other day. There's a little pocket in there, man. It's got some trees and some stumps sticking out on Carter's. You don't throw a glide bait in there, you might be mistaken.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Andy Miller. Now that I've already set your date up with Tim Wyatt, what are your rod recommendations? So, like, definitely most of them are going to be heavy action. Most of them or mod heavy.
Mod heavy, depending on what you're throwing, heavy. If you're running a wake bait, you want something a little more softer, so I go moderate heavy, just so that way when I lean into them, I ain't pulling stressing my hooks.
Right.
Most of the time, it's just a heavy rod, man. Budget friendly, the Daiwa DXSB 8-footers. They got 3 different actions of rods, $100. One of them throws that giant freaking shad right there.
Yep.
Everything else I throw the MF or swim bait rod from 6 Cents. That's a great rod. The St. Croix Victories. I've got 3 of those, 1 711, 2 in the 710 heavy fasts. Man, that's such a broad and vast question to me personally. It's not really about the brand or the rod. It's more about availability. Once again, like I said, because I got terrible luck ordering rods, dude. I cannot get a rod to the house without it being damn broken.
That's true. No doubt about that.
So
I've experienced that. So your cousin says, bring the little man to the pier here soon. What kind of weight do you think I need? And I have dead shrimp for bait. Any recommendation on the weight and bait?
Brandon, you need to get live shrimp first off, and
Does help. Get the live stuff.
I'm not a saltwater fisherman, man. I'm sorry.
Get one of the, hey, listen, I'll tell you what to get. You go to the nearest convenience store and you buy one of them pyramid weights that they sell down there, them big old 2 ounce or 1 ounce. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, that's right. It sounds right.
It sounds right. Let's see. Yeah, Austin does need to stop changing the name of his channel. It is very hard when he does change. We got to talk to him about that.
I think he's stuck on America's Outdoor Family.
Outdoor Family now, good. So, Robert Woody wants to know who's got the best gizzard shad paint scheme.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Mike's lady Jen. Dude, she is freaking.
Yeah, you can get the basic one, and then she can do the upgraded paint job.
She will give, if you take her a bait, a live gizzard shad, she will paint you that exact shad onto that bait.
That's what I've heard.
She is a freaking phenomenal artist, dude.
Yeah, John Aldridge says that all the time about
He's the
her.
one that put me onto her, dude. She is insanely good.
Every time we talk about it in the shop and it comes up, Bucca baits. Now, I will say this: you're gonna pay a little extra for that custom job, but from what I've seen,
it ain't much more, man.
It ain't much more, but it's
it's
worth
it, dude. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's not, and I'm not saying Mike's paint jobs are bad. Mike has a great paint scheme himself.
Yeah,
but Jen has that pristine, fine eye. Every dial spec, everything's perfect.
The one thing I can tell you, yeah, she's good. One thing I can tell you though about these baits, there are some that are really pretty. They're very realistic looking, but a lot of it is just the profile. It doesn't have to have that perfect paint job every time. Now maybe on clear water, maybe, but like seriously, yeah.
That was a Hog Hunter Magnum trout, dude. The face of that one's been beat to hell.
A Hog Hunter Magnum trout.
Now I was just fixing to ask, what does it matter? Are we getting too involved with the painting of them, or is it?
Can stuff be too realistic?
We're getting too real. We throw stuff out there that don't look anything like what we're trying. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, think about it. Just a straight white Kitech.
Yeah,
it don't look like a damn fish.
Yeah,
and he's got what is that?
That's a 8 or 9 inch burrito. I think
that's Bucca's burrito right there,
dude. That's a plain white one. Catches fish.
It does. So sometimes I think think about back in the day.
Black worms
Or just a white spook.
Yeah.
And I know like Berkeley makes like take a Chapo. You can get the chrome and black, you can get whatever, but they even make Berkeley has some of their baits of the high def baits, and they look really good, but it's like, do you really need it in certain situations? You throw in top water and all that. Sometimes I find clear works better on top water than actual chrome or color.
Right.
Just because like that. But I'm holding this thing up and I'm like, if I went up here to the river and caught 6 or 7 of these, I eat this is what you eat. This is your snit. This is your standard 9-inch trout that people come in here and buy power bait and all. And this is what you're fishing with.
Well, I just wonder because it's a slow, like the wide glides are slower moving bait. So do you want it to look more realistic because they're looking at it and they're actually tracking it more? I guess what I'm saying.
That might be on a slow glide on one of those like how do you go boom.
If you're slower fishing a bait, absolutely.
You think that's when it makes a difference?
Go a little bit more match the hatch, but I mean, think about spooks, man. The two most common spooks that have caught more fish have been chrome and bone.
Yep.
That Randy Blockett video, he was like, bone is overrated,
but it catches fish.
But then like 10 times in that video, but it catches fish. Now I'm not one of them guys. I'm not hating on Randy. That one I thought was funny.
It was funny, man.
What's your preferred treble hook on a hard swim bait?
I usually fish what they got, but the Owner ST41s are what I buy.
Owner ST41s.
I believe it's the 41.
I like a man that knows exactly what he's doing. Let's see. Anthony says you can't go wrong with a bone color swim bait or glide. Yeah. For sure. Why are you not saltwater fishing, John? Because hell, they ain't none around here. He wants to. Why ain't you saltwater? Because he's catching big fish,
brother,
right here. I got that. And then Tim says, shh, on the black worm.
Yep. I throw them big old black jelly worms too, man.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this.
I feel Tim on that.
We're going to change it a little bit.
All right, bring it on.
Because you talked about the things that work. And what's the most overrated big swim bait or glide bait on the market? You got to call somebody out. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh God, most overrated. Damn it, man. Probably the Hinkle shad just because of the price. But you can't beat what that bait does.
Right. So it's not the bait itself, it's the price.
It's more of a price thing, I think, as far as overrated on glide baits. Definitely. But I mean, he's making them by himself.
So yeah, so you're getting the artistry and
the
individual
full scheme of everything.
So I get that. So when you say overrated, though, you're not saying the bait sucks.
No, the bait doesn't suck, but it's just
so expensive. If you can get one,
if you can get one. So if I can take a 7-inch trick shad or a 9-inch trick shad and go out and catch the same fish, and they cost a quarter of the price as that Hinkle trout or shad.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm all, man.
I get it.
And the availability.
I get it. Let's see. Ever catch big catfish on those baits?
Nope, I don't touch catfish. I eat them. But no,
I don't. But I could see somewhere like on the Tennessee River or something like that, a big old flathead.
Okay, well let me go back to that. I'm not fishing deep water like that.
Yeah.
Without live scope. So for everybody that's against it, I don't religiously use it. I use it to locate my fish unless I'm fishing something that's going to risk me losing a lot of money. That makes sense. No, I mean, I get that. That makes sense. I ain't here to FAFO, dude. FAFO. I like that. F and go and FAFO. That's right. That's it. Let's see. Do you ever fish the log at night? Jonah, no, he ain't supposed to be fishing that lake at night. No, sir. I don't break the law. But I've caught them at night there. Look, I was waiting to see what your eyes look like when you were saying that. If you were going to look dead to camera and lie like a dog. Let's be honest, man. Everybody does something in fishing they ain't supposed to do. Just shake each other's hands and be gentlemen. Leave your snarky comments to your own. Hey, listen. I get it. You want to catch fish or you want to be a wiener? I don't know, man. That's my goal. Well, it's like this. It's like if we're being honest, we've all snuck into a lake at some point in our life. Well, maybe not you, Tony.
Oh, no, I definitely snuck into some lakes.
I mean, we talked about that on the lunch break the other day. I snuck into a lot of lakes.
I'm not saying I'm still doing it, but there are some lakes.
Well, we're not as fast. We're not as fast as we used to be.
I look official when I do it. Okay,
so you look official when you do it. When I do it, my little fat ass is. I can't run through the woods and hide anymore. There's a little more girth there. I can be shined real easy now. Like Danny, come on out from around that tree. It ain't hiding you no more. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Tim White said there is a tournament there on the 19th at night. Merrick McClure throws a benefit tournament on there once a year that you can go and fish. And in fact, last year was where Jesse Benson. He caught. Now, when they weighed it in, it was 11 something. That's wild, dude. He tried to let it go, and good for him. We had a tournament the next morning right behind him. Oh. So he let it go. It swam off, but then it expired, and some of the guys put it in a cooler. He came back and got it. and he took it to the taxidermist. So he at least did that, so it didn't
That's
go to
cool,
waste.
man.
But he told me when he got to the taxidermist, it weighed 12 something.
That's an official scale, though, man.
That's what he told me. But I can tell you this: that was a Becky.
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord, that fish was big. That fish was huge, but he caught it at night. But they do throw that. I believe it's an open tournament.
Dude, I read this article one time. There was this old man that lived in South Georgia about 15, 20 years ago, and he fished at night, and he's caught like over 2,000 bass, over 10 or 12 pounds or something like that on a freaking black buzzbait, only at night.
That's all I throw.
Dude, that guy's
Not saying I fish Latham at night or anything, but maybe. So Roman made mother. Let's see.
Yeah, I
Jeremiah.
agree with Jeremiah on that one.
Roman made mother for $500.
Yeah.
Probably the most overrated. By the way, the big glides are actually great saltwater lures too. Plenty of South Florida snook and jacks crack them. There you go. Daggum Braves lost. Destin Hunt wants to know if you've ever fished a re-reg lake over at Carter's.
Yeah,
Lower
man,
lake.
there's all right fish in there. It's not like popping, I don't think,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
you go
it's
catch
good.
some fish.
Mason Tucker wants to know what's the hours for that night tournament.
Mason, calm down.
I want to say it goes to like maybe 1 or 2. Tim might know. 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. So there you go. I knew somebody would know right there. So Brandon Battles. Are there a lot of restrictions on freshwater fish like there are some saltwater fish, for example, like this snow? Are there any kind of size charts you have to follow? We do have some lakes that have what they call
Like snook.
snook. Yeah, that's probably like snook. We have on some lakes you have a limit of how many you can keep. Some of them have slot limits
Yeah.
that you got to release certain things, but for the most part, no. It's only on certain lakes. Yeah, other than that, like Lanier, it's got to be a 14-inch bass to keep, but Allatoona it's a 12. Most lakes it's a 12, but not like what you're talking about, at least not in Georgia. All right, let's see. Re-reg was a killer big spot lake. I never caught any big ones out of there.
Me neither. Good for Robert.
Jeremiah Giles says, you're talking about Pat Cullen. He only fished black buzz baits at night all over Georgia and caught 1,000 bass over 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's him.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, he was a hammer. I guess he passed away though.
Josh McPherson. See, this is what happens. You guys also don't realize this. I'm just going to tell you that I know a lot of the game wardens in the area and across North Georgia. They actually have told me they listen to this.
Good, man.
Well, I mean, it's for a little bit of entertainment too, but they
we know what they're doing.
They do. I got checked on Lake Lanier.
Oh yeah.
But this was for Forsyth County. Forsyth County boat pulls up. We're fishing electric only term over there. They go check in the boat. They check your license and all that. I hand him my license, and he goes, "You're that podcast guy." And I said, "Is that going to get me out of a ticket?" And he goes, "Nope." But they pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
They do pay attention. But he says, "I work for Cherokee County Water Authority. I'm going to have to start patrolling the banks after hours." Hey, listen, I technically kind of help out over here at Latham with that a little bit too. But I
Josh,
get
come
it.
hop on the boat, man.
Well, you know what? But, the reason why, because Cherokee County Water Authority, that lake is private property.
It technically is.
It's private property, and so there is a liability with people fishing at night.
They
And
need
that's
to close
why.
the damn gate then.
Well, I thought the Canton PD was in charge of the gate. I don't know. You might can do that.
Legalities, man.
What are those penalties if you don't stick to the guidelines?
Usually a ticket.
Yeah, ticket.
You'll lose your fishing license if you're a real dirty turd eater.
Yeah, but for the most part,
You're just gonna get a ticket.
you got to get a ticket, $7,500. Something. I mean, that's about right. When's the last time you got a ticket, Tony?
Oh, it's been
I've never got a ticket fishing.
Not fishing.
no. I haven't got anyone fishing.
No, I've gotten some tickets on
No.
some other stuff for sure.
Amen.
Josh, go lock the gate at midnight. Now listen, I would never do that. But if you knew all them guys were fishing that tournament there, and somebody went and pushed that gate closed and just went to Walmart and just
dude.
bought a
Oh,
lock, can you imagine the chaos that would ensue?
You
And all
have to
that?
fight 50 rednecks. I don't want to do that. Do you?
No, I just shoot them, and I ain't got that many bullets right
I
there.
doubt he does too.
Gonna go in the backside.
Hey,
That's,
we're
hey,
gonna-
Ain't
listen,
no backside on hickory log.
no,
bud.
there is on Latham.
Not on Destin's talk about hickory log.
Oh yeah,
Ain't that-
well. So Jonah Ford's gonna get real quiet in the comment sections now that he knows somebody's watching over here like that. So, with that, I tell you what. Listen, the problem with these kind of episodes is we honestly could talk for another 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
There's so much to cover. So I think what we'll do is maybe after ICAST or something like that, get you back on, and we'll go more like specific, or after you go show Tim all, the way to do that. Bill Petrulli has got a question real quick. Have you ever thrown the Berkeley Sissies? First time I fished, and I think he meant Nessies.
Yeah.
I fished, caught a 6.4.
I like the Nessie, man, as far as swim baits go and cheap, but I work it like a damn fluke, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'll throw that 9-incher on a herring lake and just.
The problem with the Nessie is it's a knockoff. I mean, they just straight up, pretty much copied that smaller company's bait.
Flagstaff.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, Flagstaff.
Remember, there was
has
a big
the original.
And I know that. What's the fella? Mikey Balls did a video on it like a week or two ago about that. But like we knew about that 2 ICAST ago because that was the big controversy. And pretty much, I mean, honestly, I know the bigger companies will find a bait and they'll do that. But that one right there, that pissed off a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
dude. Yeah.
I mean, it really did make a lot of people mad.
It did, man. And I'm not gonna, disagree or agree with anybody on that. Ain't my business, ain't my product, but it ain't right. Not necessarily, but you can't.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Oh Lord. Okay. Big Al. Damn, Big Al, why don't you get here earlier? Our lady of the night.
You got a good one.
Got a good one. You got a ranker.
Denise Richards.
1 to 10, 10 being the hottest.
Like nowadays or
in her prime.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I give her a solid 8.5.
Damn, Russian judge. I'd give her at least 9.5 to 10. No. Why are you knocking off points?
I don't like Hollywood women.
That's fair. That's
too much bougie. Too much to deal with.
No, you ain't got to marry her.
The mouth's gonna open not in the right way, and you don't want to deal with that. That's too much.
I get it. I give her a solid 9.5. What do you give her, Tony?
I'm gonna go in the middle. I'm gonna say 9.
9,
on, dude.
Yeah,
solid. Listen, I ain't got to talk to her. It's just based on what she looks. So
I got terrible luck, dude. So
if you didn't have to talk to her,
yeah, give her a 9.5.
Give her a 9.5. There you go, like that. What's the best spot down here to recommend, John, for freshwater? Go back out to Okeechobee?
Yeah, man, go for it.
I like that.
Absolutely.
We need some open tournaments on the log in Latham.
I agree with Mason on that one completely, dude. Start taking some fish out too.
Hickory log needs some fish took out. I'm just sorry.
If you guys fish hickory log, I'm sorry.
But don't Randy Blockett made a video today just raising hell about people yesterday or today about people taking out bass.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
When you have an abundance, and I mean, if you've ever fished hickory log, guys, you know what I'm talking about. You will literally catch 5,000 fish before you catch something worth anything.
Yeah, it makes tournaments tough.
Dude, I caught a 22-inch fish the other day, weighed 3 pounds. That is how bad the forage is in hickory log. And that's not the only one.
And that probably, if it was healthy, would have been a 6 pound fish.
Dude, that fish was dying. Her eyes were sucked into her head. She was dying.
Is that the one you sent me a picture of on the catch board or whatever it was? Or you sent because I saw that picture and I was like, you sent me pictures to put up. I was like, I can't put that picture up. We got fish, but yeah, no, I saw it.
Yeah, man, that was
its mouth honestly was as big as the rest of its body. The mouth was the biggest part of that entire fish, and you said it was what, 22?
22.5 inches.
Yeah, it was ugly, dude. It was bad,
I'll
bad,
show you
ugly.
after this, bro.
Yeah.
Eddie Hudson, yes, from 8 to 12. 8 to 12 on Saturday. So with that though, okay, so I think we caught up like that. Been a great episode. We need to get you back and do like either just keep talking so that Tim White can swoon over you all night in your voice and all that. Take it. I'm gonna give you his number. Call him up and y'all go fish and everything. DNR is the most powerful enforcement officer in the state. They can arrest anyone 100%.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that.
No, they are, and they can take your shit too. DNR is. John, I fished it 4 times in the last month. Probably caught 100+ fish. 1 fish over 2 pounds.
Tim, I'm gonna break your heart a little bit, dude, but I went out there the other day and caught 14 pounds on a glide bait.
Yeah.
Sorry, pal.
Listen, I'm just gonna tell you, if I get my ass kicked by like 20 pounds the next time we fish, it's on you.
No, it ain't.
So take Tim out, but then you gotta take me.
Listen.
And then we're gonna be fishing in the same spot, but Tim's boat's faster than mine.
I'm a firm believer, dude, and it ain't the bait, it's the fisherman.
Oh, well, then that's why I get my ass kicked.
I can
there you go. That's true.
Everything that I have fishing wise, tell you how to use it exactly how I do it, but you will not fish it the same.
Oh, I know.
It's physically impossible.
100%. It is. And that's why I always make fun of guys that catch a big bass, and y'all might have done it, but color the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, be confident. If you can catch that fish, but I know guys.
I will tell everybody all the time, anybody that knows me and fishes with me, against me, whatever. Dude, when we fished in Joey's league last year, the EBOs, I was throwing people shaky worms. I was tearing them up on a divine shaky worm, dude. I threw Mason 2-packs, tried to give Lee and Robert some. I threw Robert a jerkbait.
I don't recall you giving me anything.
I didn't know you then, brother, man.
Oh, so what? I got to know you. I got to be in that inner circle.
Well, I didn't know hardly nobody.
I know it. I know it. I get
I stick
it.
to myself.
Tim's right. Yep, you can't fish other people's patterns. And that is true.
Oh, absolutely.
That is one of the biggest mistakes anglers make. Like if we did a podcast on just mistakes, it is trying to be exactly like somebody else.
Exactly, dude. You got to be you and rock your own socks, man.
You do. I agree with that. So, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment there, Tim. All you guys, Mark, Judd, everybody. Listen, hey, I'm going fishing tomorrow morning with Underwood, but we will be doing a lunch break tomorrow as soon as I get back, hopefully at 12. And that's going to be something we're going to try to do every single day. So if you're at work, got nothing to do, it is not as formatted as this. But join us every day around 12 just for a little break in the day. Next Tuesday, we've got, and I believe his name is Dan as well, from Magnum Baits. If you guys watched Tuesday night, and John Aldred had these big ass, and we're going to be big baits for a while. These really big soft plastics that come out of Texas. So the owner of that company is going to be joining us, and John will be back because they're buddies and all that. We're going to talk about how to fish bigger soft plastics around here in the South. We're not going to be going with the finesse ones. We're going to be talking, and basically we're trophy hunting.
Right. You are, man. You got to.
We're trophy hunting. And I will say this, John, for your first time here, you did well. You got you a couple fans out there. They're going to be going tonight dreaming about your deep voice and everything like that. But I learned some stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's the way it goes. So, but next week we got 2 good episodes. That one, you got some.
I was going to say, is John, what you got social media?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Shout it out.
It's Big Bait John, capital B, I-G, B-A-A-T, capital Jon, on all platforms. If you guys are in the area, you want to go fishing, hit me up. I'll take you out anytime.
He will. Tim, I'll shoot you that. As soon as we get off the air, I'll shoot you his number.
And listen, hit the wrong one. So listen, first time I met the guy, he gives me a dang trick shad. I mean, he wants to teach you.
That's true.
That's one I picked up really quick is he wants to teach you about this stuff. So
hey, listen, I got a box of big, like some 6. He gave it to me the first time I met him, and then the night he gave me this Huddleston, which of course now I'm sending off to somebody. But anyway, so it's good. So anyway, I'll send you that number, Tim. You guys join us tomorrow. Hopefully, if you got Lip Stickers Patreon, you can catch me fishing with them. But you did a good job tonight.
Thanks, man.
For your first one, and like now we got to clean up this table and all that and go home. So Destin Hunt said he gave me a rod.
Yeah, I did.
Andy Miller, the lunch hour show might be from the boat. Lip Sticker's obsessed. You better catch him or he won't let you off the boat. I done told him I had to be back at the shop. And it's supposed to rain a little bit. So with that equipment, we might be dodging it. So, but anyway, if I do not talk to you guys and you're out fishing this weekend, as always, first of all, be safe, enjoy yourself, take somebody. And, but the safety thing's the big one. That's the big one because I want you guys to come back and so we can talk again. So enjoy your weekend. I will see you tomorrow around lunch. Y'all be good.